100,000 new infections in a single day for the first time in nearly 6 months. The latest surge making the push to vaccinate even more critical as the U.S. finally reaches a key vaccination milestone. Infrastructure Week in Washington already in jeopardy tonight after a senator tests positive for COVID. How does this affect the bipartisan push for a deal? And also tonight, Congress is trying to act after that eviction moratorium expired. Is there a plan to keep Americans from getting kicked out of their homes? The major allegations of NHL match fixing being leveled by the wife of a hockey superstar. His response tonight. Amanda Knox is blasting Matt Damon's latest movie, Stillwater, what she says it got wrong about her story. The dramatic return of Simone Biles, the superstar, now just hours away from taking the mat for one final event. It could get worse every Olympics, how climate change is affecting the athletes in Tokyo and forcing organizers to get creative. And our conversation with actor Matthew Rhys, who literally has a job right now that is frankly hard to beat. We'll explain.
And I would like to qualify, it's an incredibly difficult job drinking wine from 8 to 6 p.m.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. These are the darkest days of our pandemic. That's the message tonight from the top doctor at Louisiana's largest hospital, as her hospital has now run out of ICU beds. Louisiana has the highest case rate in the country right now, but other places are certainly reeling as well. This map shows the virus spreading across the country. Nearly 80% of U.S. counties are now reporting high or substantial transmission. In Florida, hospitalizations are at levels that we saw back in 2020. Residents there lined up for hours to try to get tested. The CDC director is once again stressing this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. But I do want to pass along a bit of positive news tonight. In the hardest hit states, that messaging appears to be working. Vaccination rates are up 200 to 300%. And today, the U.S. finally surpassing 70% of adults with at least one shot 1 month after President Biden's goal of July 4th. But these glimmers of hope come as places like Louisiana are reeling once again and pleading with residents to get vaccinated and mask up. Our Janae Norman leads us off tonight from Baton Rouge.
Tonight, faced with the highest COVID infection rate in the country, hospitals in Louisiana starting to run out of beds. Some reporting seeing a new COVID patient every hour.
There are no more beds left. These are the darkest days of this pandemic. We are no longer giving adequate care to patients.
Federal disaster teams arriving in Baton Rouge to help handle the crush of COVID patients as hospitals face staffing shortages.
We're beyond the tipping point. If adults and children 12 years of age and older would simply get what we know to be a safe and effective vaccine, we could avoid all of this.
Across the country, health officials say it's the unvaccinated being overwhelmed by the Delta variant. In Missouri, 31-year-old Daryl Barker regrets not getting the vaccine as he's fighting for his life in the ICU. His wife and 6-year-old son only able to watch through this window.
I was strongly against getting the vaccine just because we're a strong conservative family. But that little boy out there, a reason to have a vaccine.
Nearly 80% of U.S. counties are now either reporting high or substantial community transmission. Hospitals in those hot zones now pushed to the limit. Austin, Texas, with just 10 ICU beds for a metro area of 2.3 million people. Officials there sounding the alarm about the threat to pregnant women.
Unlike the original COVID that we were seeing 18 months ago, this new Delta variant is affecting our pregnant moms more severely. We've all seen over the past several weeks an increase of our maternal moms that are pregnant, ending up hospitalized and ending up in our ICUs.
Now we ask, Lord, your special blessing upon this unit.
Teams on the front lines praying to get through this latest surge.
Our nurses who are dedicated to their community, their home, are heartbroken watching their friends, family, and neighbors die. literally die.
Over the weekend, more than 100,000 COVID cases reported in just 24 hours, the highest daily number since February.
This remains a pandemic of the unvaccinated, where the vast majority of spread is in this country is among those who are unvaccinated.
Dr. Anthony Fauci saying CDC data shows just 0.01% of breakthrough infections after full vaccination led to hospitalization or death. Today, the U.S. hitting the president's July 4th goal of getting 70% of adults partially vaccinated nearly a month late. But 90 million Americans eligible for the vaccine have yet to get a single shot. And across the country, a maze of shifting mask rules. Louisiana today announcing a new statewide mask mandate.
Simply put, there's a dangerous amount of COVID spreading in Louisiana right now.
The governor there making it plain just how dangerous the spread is. And Janae Norman joins us now from Baton Rouge. Janae, such a sobering message from the top doctor at the state's largest hospital there.
It really was, Lindsay. And they said, look, they knew that it wasn't over just a few weeks ago when cases were, they weren't having many new cases a day, but there was a large unvaccinated population here. So they anticipated that there would be another surge. But officials tell me that they did not expect the Delta variant to overwhelm unvaccinated communities the way that it is already showing it has. They say that the community spread is at a dangerous point. They are past the tipping point, as you heard. And with the impacts on children, as kids are supposed to be heading back to school, all of that is why the governor here decided to re-implement that mask mandate.
Yeah, children of particular concern. And Janae, it's also important to point out, though, the reduction in risk for fully vaccinated people compared to those who are unvaccinated. Dr. Fauci discussed this today. What did he have to say?
Well, Lindsay, as he said, when you compare the risk, if you are fully vaccinated, you're 8 times less likely to even get the virus and 25 times less likely to end up hospitalized or dying if you do get COVID. That is why officials continue to push the need for those who have not gotten vaccinated to do so. Lindsay.
Janae Norman, our thanks to you. Next, 5 Miami Beach police officers are facing battery charges in connection with the rough arrest of 2 men. Newly released surveillance and body camera video shows the officers repeatedly striking one of the men, even though he was handcuffed. ABC's Victor Oquendo reports on the video and a warning that some may find it disturbing.
This surveillance video shows officers inside the Royal Palm Hotel on Miami Beach surrounding 24-year-old Delonta Crudup, who the district attorney says allegedly hit an officer while fleeing in a scooter after being stopped for illegally parking it. As more Miami Beach police officers arrive, Crudup is on the ground, handcuffed, when, according to the state attorney, Officer Kevin Perez kicked Crudup several times and slammed his head to the ground. Sergeant Jose Perez kicks Crudup in the head as well.
It was just unfathomable. It was unspeakable. It is just inexcusable. And I'm not alone in that feeling.
Another video shows officers tackling and punching a bystander who was recording video of the rough arrest. That man was arrested.
5 officers have been charged with battery. They turned themselves in here to Miami Beach Police Headquarters and have been relieved of duty, and officials say more charges are possible. Lindsay?
Victor, thank you. We are joined now by Miami Beach, Florida Mayor Dan Gelber. And Dan, thank you so much for joining us. We want to get right into the COVID Delta variant surge in your state in a moment. But first, if I can, just to get your reaction to the action seen by these Miami Beach police officers and what you believe should happen next.
Well, I think, what our department did immediately was the right thing. Within hours of the actual incident, the officers were relieved of duty and the whole matter was referred over to the state attorney's office. That happened within hours last week of the incident. So what happened today wasn't really much of a surprise with the officers being charged. Obviously, I agree with our police chief, and I've seen the video as everybody has. It's very unacceptable. But I would say this is not who our department is. And I think the best evidence of that is how quickly they responded to these actions. I've seen our department do wonderful things in de-escalation at great peril to our officers. But obviously, this instance is unacceptable in every way. And what our department did was exactly the right thing they should do, which was relieve the officers of duty immediately, and then within hours refer the entire matter to the state attorney's office for a review of prosecution, which it is being done now, obviously.
And let's turn now to the pandemic. Your state is now the epicenter of the Delta variant surge. You faulted Governor Ron DeSantis' handling of it, specifically on prohibiting local leaders from issuing mask mandates. At this point, is there anything that you as mayor or other local officials can do to get around that?
Well, he's done it. It feels like he's really just tried to convert a healthcare crisis into a political opportunity, honestly. I wasn't crossways with him at the beginning of this whole thing because I thought he was trying to address the healthcare crisis. But at some point, he became all about the politics. And now he's not allowing businesses, he's outlawed businesses from requiring vaccinations to come inside. So including obviously the cruise industry, which is many of whom are located here. He's stopped even local school officials from deciding that they want kids to have to be wearing masks, even in the midst of this horrible epidemic. And by the way, he's not allowed us to require any mask mandates, which we had used successfully to reduce our spread during the high points of this disease. So, yeah, we're going to do all we can. We're encouraging people. We're going to require our employees. I believe we're going to encourage the business community to require masks indoors. But he's really tried to make this as hard as possible. And I think, unfortunately, just to sort of curry favor with a small group of supporters who, frankly, are the ones most likely not to wear masks and most likely not to get vaccinated.
Well, what other actions has the governor taken that you believe are hurting your state's ability to get the pandemic under control? What would you call on him specifically to change, to roll back today?
Oh, well, number one, he should allow us to implement mask mandates. They don't impair expansion of the economy. They just make it safer to expand the economy. So I'd like to be able to do that in places where I think it needs to be done. I think businesses wouldn't mind us doing that. He's closed down a lot of the databases that we have relied on to make these decisions. We don't have a state a database anymore that's available to the public. The idea of outlawing passports, vaccine passports for the cruise industry and other places. He did it, and then he got the legislature to do it. That's a bad idea because the problem we're seeing now is that people who are not vaccinated are the ones that are both getting injured and hurt and hospitalized and dying, and in fact, spreading the disease as well. So you got to reverse that also. So, there's a whole lot of things he's done to attack us from stopping us from dealing with the disease. I think he just has taken the entirely wrong approach to this. And I think he's been following an ideology and a political agenda rather than, what the CDC says. He's literally telling people not to listen to the CDC. I mean, who would say that in the middle of a deadly virus?
And I'm sure that you're communicating with local hospitals and health officials as more of these cases and hospitalizations pile up. Just give us a picture of what you're personally seeing in your community and how this compares to prior surges.
It's horrible. We've got probably about 1,500 people in the hospital right now. Over 300 are in intensive care units in just Dade County. I think the Dade and Broward have the two worst hospital systems in the world right now when it comes to COVID. Our state is leading in virtually every metric. More people are dying, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds every week. More people are getting positive cases by, a huge amount than any other state. So this is obviously something that is terrible. And in my own city, and I'm a small city, we probably have 50 or 60 people in the hospital right now. So, look, I think this has been terribly mishandled. And unfortunately, it's an unforced error because we had the solution. If everybody just took the vaccine, we wouldn't be where we are right now. And honestly, we're urging our residents to do it. We just opened up a site we had closed about a month ago. We thought this thing was behind us, which will allow for both testing and vaccines next to City Hall. But it would be great, by the way, if the governor used his bully pulpit to encourage people to do stuff. And I don't mean to be so critical of him. I've been complimentary of him during this last year and a half. But obviously, in the last 6 months to a year, he's sort of changed direction, and now it's evident that the change of his direction is having an impact on the health of our residents.
And what's your message to both residents as well as visitors? Obviously, your city is highly dependent on tourism. Do you believe that your community should be scaling back as far as public activities are concerned, at least as much as cases are spiking right now, even if mandates or closures aren't in place?
Well, there are two things. Number one, we need everybody to get vaccinated. It's just absurd that people are not vaccinated at this point when the vaccines are available to everyone. And we need everybody telling everybody this is not a political decision. It shouldn't be. But secondly, as a hospitality destination, I urge, and I have, and they've been really good about it, our business community, our hospitality industry, to create a safer environment for our patrons. And they've been really great about this because I think they understand their patrons. They understand that people would more likely come to a place where they feel safer than go to a place where they think there's more virus. It's hardly a great slogan of our tourism industry to say, come to Florida where there's, where nobody has to wear a mask and the virus is aplenty. I think the exact opposite is what we should be saying, is we're pretty careful here. So if you're going to come, wear a mask inside, at least during this moment, and you need to be vaccinated because that's the safest way to interact with people these days.
Miami Beach Mayor Dan Gelber, we thank you so much for your time tonight. Really appreciate you coming on the show. Now to Washington, where the Senate has officially opened debate on the $1.1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, but it's already facing challenges from Republicans as well as progressive Democrats. And now the pandemic could potentially hamper the debate after a positive COVID diagnosis hit the Senate. Here's ABC's congressional correspondent, Rachel Scott.
Tonight, with just days until August recess, Democrats are racing to pass the bipartisan infrastructure package.
Let's start voting on amendments. The longer it takes to finish the bill, the longer we'll be here.
But the Senate's top Republican says, what's the rush?
Senators on both sides expect and deserve opportunities to have a say and to put their own state's imprints on this major bill.
At least 10 Republican senators must sign on for the bill to head to the House, where it faces another set of obstacles. Progressives are demanding their party pass a larger package first.
We will uphold.
Many of those progressives now furious at the White House and
all of these investments in.
Many of those progressives now furious at the White House and Congress for letting the federal moratorium on evictions expire over the weekend, stranding millions of Americans like Terriana Clark of Harvey, Louisiana.
But for right now, this is all that I have. This is all that my family has right now.
Terriana fears she and her two small children will soon be out on the street.
I'm literally going to be in my car until I figure something out.
House Democrats are calling on the White House to act. The White House pointing the finger right back at Congress. Meanwhile, 6 states and D.C. have decided to extend the eviction moratorium on their own.
Rachel Scott joins us now from the Capitol. Rachel, you mentioned the 7 states that are now extending the eviction moratorium on their own. Is there anything likely that Congress will be able to get an agreement on, or will it be up to the state and local governments at this point?
Well, Lindsay, lawmakers in the House have already left town for a 6-week recess. There are no plans right now to take up this issue in the Senate. So what we are seeing from the White House and Democratic leadership is really try and put some pressure on the states to start distributing the money that Congress set aside to help renters and landlords. $47 billion so far, only $3 billion has been distributed. And they're also encouraging more states to impose their own moratoriums on evictions, Lindsay.
And Rachel, as the Senate debates this infrastructure bill, news tonight that one prominent senator now has COVID and that could potentially have an impact on the debate?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Lindsay. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina has now tested positive for COVID-19 even after being fully vaccinated. He says that he does have mild symptoms, but tonight we are learning that Graham was also in close contact with 6 other U.S. senators. They were all at a gathering on the houseboat of Senator Joe Manchin this weekend. So far, Graham is the only one to have tested positive, but we are still waiting to hear from some other senators on what those results may be and the impact that may have on this infrastructure deal getting through, Lindsay.
All right, Rachel Scott, our thanks to you. Now we go overseas to Afghanistan, and the U.S. launching airstrikes daily for the past 2 weeks to block the Taliban advances on 3 key cities. All of this happening as U.S. troops head home, and a second flight arrives here in the U.S. carrying Afghan interpreters and others. ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell reports.
Tonight, Afghan fighters racing to turn back the Taliban onslaught as militants advance on 3 major cities. Since America's deal to pull out, the Taliban's moved rapidly, by one estimate, now controlling more than half the country's 400 districts. Civilian casualties are at record highs, and hundreds of thousands are being forced from their homes. Now, for the first time in this offensive, 3 provincial capitals are being assaulted. As we saw when we visited Afghanistan in May, many government troops were preparing to fight. But since then, they've often been unwilling or unable to stop the Taliban advance without crucial American support. Today, Afghan President Ghani blaming the situation on President Biden's abrupt decision to withdraw. The escalation in violence comes as more flights arrive in the US with Afghans who'd worked for America.
Ian Pannell joins us now from London. And Ian, despite the withdrawal of U.S. troops, we're learning the Pentagon has been working to support Afghan forces on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's right. What we're hearing is that actually the US has conducted airstrikes every single day for the last 2 weeks in support of the beleaguered Afghan forces. I think what we've really seen is a big shift on the battlefield. We know that the Taliban had taken over significant amounts of territory, but most of it was rural. It was out into the countryside. Now they've launched concerted attacks against 3 key cities, and it's those airstrikes which are helping try to keep the Taliban at bay. But the Afghans have had to deploy special forces, commandos to those cities to try and stop the Taliban advance. But even tonight, again, we were hearing reports from Lashkar, down in Helmand, down in the south, places where I've been with US Marines and British troops, that the Taliban are advancing, that there's fighting in the city. So although those airstrikes are welcome, I think Afghan officials have real questions about how long they'll last once the US withdrawal is completed at the end of this month. And no doubt, it's a Taliban who have the momentum. Lindsay?
Ian Pannell, our thanks to you. And now to the Tokyo Olympics, and star gymnast Simone Biles set to make a comeback to compete in the final individual medal event after withdrawing from prior contests to focus on her mental health. But while Biles will once again try to vie for gold, a tough loss for the U.S. women's soccer team. ABC's James Longman has the latest from Tokyo.
Tonight, star athlete Simone Biles is back in the Olympics. USA gymnast.
Welcome, King. Welcome. Microphone check. Microphone check. It came in a little bit. I'll wait for you. He said, let me clear my throat. I don't hear you though, love. All right, all right, all right. Well, we'll wait for him.
It's confirming she'll compete in the balance beam final tomorrow in now what is certain to be one of the most anticipated events of these games. She withdrew from the team final a week ago and then one by one each individual event. Vault, bars and floor. She took on instead the role of team cheerleader, making room for some of the other members of Team USA.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You there, bro? You might have to clear your caches if you're coming in on your phone. We've been having technical difficulties all day. You might want to clear your taskbars. Oh, I hear you a little bit. The aliens got you. The aliens got you. Bring Lord John back. Bring Lord John back. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Play nice, play nice. Nobody gets timed out around here, so you better have tough skin.
Carey today won gold in the floor routine. Carey giving her dad, who's also her coach, a huge hug.
It means everything to me to have my dad here. We've been working so hard for this together.
Over the weekend, 24-year-old Michaela Skinner on the verge of retirement.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Can you hear me? John, where is Lord John? Shout out to Anthony. Walking in the light, John. You are welcome. I heard you a little bit. I hear myself repeating. Oh, I hear you a little bit. It's your headphones. I don't hear you. He comes in and then he goes out. He comes in and then he goes out. It's all about that bass. It's something that you're connected to. It's not letting you talk to me. Well, I mean, you guys are giving a good debate in the chat room. If you can be adults, you can come up here and speak your piece. We just can't be using those words up here. You got to use the jab. You got to use the cocoa. You got to use the pan. But everybody has a right to their own opinion. What can I say? I agree, or I disagree. I mean, it is what it is. If I got my opinion, I'm allowed to speak my opinion. That's for sure. Facts don't about feelings. That's right. Hello, darling.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. John's trying to come up, but he's having technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. I seen that.
Oh, okay, because he was definitely speaking his piece in the chat. Shout out to the
Nothing
chat.
wrong with that. Everybody should have a voice.
I believe so, especially with what's going on. I mean,
Nobody's right or wrong. You know, we believe what we believe in, and they believe what they believe in. That's the way it should be.
Megalo shout out. Thank you, PJ. Welcome. Jab in the Your research online, Red Pool. I honestly don't care about anyone's choice, but I'm saying the scared mongering of being vaxxed is way off. Janet, people are calling jab magic potion because Google may be clamping down on the term jab. Thank you for that. Magic potion. That's what we got to call it, sir. We got to move up. Shout out to Nightbot. He's in his house.
Shout out to Nightbot.
Common sense. I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? Stop spamming with emojis. Common sense. He missed you. Oh, say sorry to Nightbot. Have you read the Gene book, Demographic Mapping of the Cultures of the Sea? I have. See, they're going at it in the chat room, sir. Shout out to the chat room. Hey.
That's good. Shout out to the chat room.
I can't tell them what to think. They're allowed to think what they're allowed to think. I think Jack's making a pretty good point, though. I mean, I'm just saying. Jack seems to have more facts than opinion, and somebody took the jab or took the magic potion. So if you took that magic potion and you start turning green, don't start complaining. Don't go crying to us. They stay crying. Sir, do you like the Olympics?
Yeah.
Well, they're showing a little clip here. I'm going to look at it. You know me and the news.
This has seriously been such an honor to be able to step in for Simone and be able to win this medal and just to do it for myself.
And all-round gold medalist Sunny Lee winning bronze in the uneven bars. But a hard strike for US women's soccer, defeated by Canada in the semi-finals. They'll go on to compete for a chance at bronze. And what will be one of the defining moments of these games, for the first time since 1912, the gold medal shared in athletics. Mutaz Boshim of Qatar and Gianmarco Tamberi of Italy tying each other in the men's high jump.
Can we have 2 gold?
Boshim asking if they could share first place instead of continuing with the jump-off, and the officials saying that it was possible. And the longtime friends then overcome with emotion.
Our thanks to James for that. When we come back, hundreds of flights canceled. What Spirit and American Airlines are saying is behind today's widespread disruptions. The estranged wife accusing her professional hockey-playing husband for throwing games to pay off gambling debt, and now he's responding to those claims. Up next, you probably could have guessed this. Climate change is already impacting the current Olympic Games and could have serious ramifications for future ones, too. Stay with us.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn.
We don't know where to turn, sir. Nobody's turning to ABC to get the news. We're diagnosing the news in the news. Because again, why do you think they're showing you all this?
Exactly. They're trying to program people, but we already know what's going on, so they can't program us.
Mm-hmm.
They only can program the stupid.
Like the ones that took the magic potion. Because I know people that have died from taking this magic potion. And I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because, unfortunately, it's real. And they don't want to accept that it's real. They're not going to accept it until your liver fails. And then you're going to like, no, I just had a bad liver. No, that's not what happened, honey. Your body's going to die from the inside out, and then you're going to be a zombie for real.
Exactly.
Not me, you.
And you can't sue the government because you took it.
Yep.
You wanted to. They didn't force you to. So
there's a lot of people dying from it. You're very shallow not to investigate. You should always investigate. That's why I share the news. Because if we don't share the news, then we don't know what's going on. And there's more things going on than arguing and fighting and dumb stuff. This is real stuff. And again, Jack, Red Bull, I like Jack. Hey, I think I know Jack. But anyway, Jack is making good points, just like John does. This is John's, this is his thing right here. He tried to hit the panel and the electronics were messing with him. So wait till he come back, boy.
Yeah, they already know who John is, boy. He in the system.
John is the anonymous, darling. Shout out to all the truth tellers fighting for the truth, honey, because we ain't taking that magic potion.
Nope, not over here.
And if we have to bop you on your head because you all of a sudden turn into something we don't know what you are, we're going to do it, girl. Sorry, not sorry. But when you start losing your own mind and thought and the feeling in your fingers, definitely gonna know that something's wrong. Is it heating up? What's your mindset on a cult member? Look at this. Look at this. Let me turn this back on. Hold on. It's coming in hot. Look at this.
We're just going to have to get used to. Our Kenneth Moulton reports in from Tokyo.
It wouldn't be the Olympic Summer Games without the heat. But Tokyo 2020, an already unprecedented, delayed, pandemic-plagued Olympics, could be the hottest on record. Temperatures in Tokyo soaring to the mid to high 90s with about 80% humidity.
It's noon in Tokyo. Of course, I'm already feeling it. With the high humidity, it feels like 100 degrees. I don't know how the athletes do it. I just walked up the steps, and that was a lot. Whew.
From tennis to beach volleyball to track and field, and some thousands of athletes competing outside. That crushing heat, dangerous. A Russian archer fainted. A Spanish tennis player taken off the court in a wheelchair, suffering from heat stroke. Daniil Medvedev angrily telling an umpire he could finish his match, but wanted to know who would take responsibility if he died. The Russian tennis player later tweeting, still alive. Tennis great Novak Djokovic calling for a delay in the start time of matches. The International Tennis Federation agreeing to move competitions from 11 a.m. to 3
Can you hear me now?
in the interest of player health and welfare.
Roger that.
That brutal
I
heat
had
stoking
to
fears about the track
do
and
some
field
more
events
computer
just getting
wizardry and
underway.
update my drivers. I don't know what happened.
I know. I'm telling you, bro.
I had to go like, is what's her name still in that chat talking about her Muppet nonsense?
Yep, here it
Hey,
is.
come
Be
up to the-
gentle, watch the codes.
I
okay?
will. Hey, come up to the panel and debate me because I know all your fake news talking points. I could debunk every single 100% of them. First of all your points. First of all your points come from Dr. F. What happened to Dr. F's emails? He was caught lying under oath to Congress, talking about he didn't study gain-of-function viruses. 2012 UT study. What happened to all the animals and the rats and everything? They all died. What happened recently? CDC, a leaked document, side effects. A split second, but people caught it because the internet says everything. You keep moving your goalposts. Oh, there's no deaths, there's no side effects, and then few deaths and few side effects. Like, come on now. You keep moving the goalposts. They talked about all this stuff in 2017 in the document called SPARS 2023, 2025. Everything that's going on now is what's happening right in front of your face. Down to the CDC using the exact same hashtags. So don't tell me up there in the chat, oh, I ain't had no side effects. Give it a minute. You got an expiration date on your body. Talking about like you some intellectual. Because you typed in Google, because you listen to fake news. You know everything, huh? You know everything? No, you don't. Who do you think you are? Really, who do you think you are? Like you some intellectual. Oh, I got my jab, I'm good. Are you really? Oh, nobody I know has. That's funny. That's funny because 74% of the people on Cape Cod, guess what? They all vax. What happened? They're in a hospital. What did they catch? The so-called new whatever. Matter of fact, there's some of us on our Facebook, we posted about everything that's going on now. We said they're going to do this. Hey, Janet, did I not tell you what they're going to do?
Yep.
Talking like you some intellectual. Like, come on now.
Okay.
Israel did a study. Israel's 90% vax, right? Israel's 90% vax.
Yes.
But how come you don't know this information? You can't cite no facts knowledge except for your own. Oh, I don't think. That's what's wrong with America. You idiots go off opinion and not facts. Trust the science. It's not science when it's only one side to an argument. That's called propaganda, stupid.
They go off government lies. They believe the government over facts.
Exactly.
That's the main problem.
Everything I said is facts. 100% facts. 100% facts. You can't debunk it. Even the CDC said, oh, if you're vaxxed, all of a sudden, you're going to have to wear a mask and we're going to have lockdowns. What happened to you protected?
Exactly.
And if your vax works so good, why are you still worried about everybody else? Shouldn't yours be good to cover you? What happened to my body, my choice? Oh, it's okay. We don't want to kill babies. But when I don't want to jeopardize my immune system, it's a problem.
Uh-oh. You got John hot. I like that.
Hey, come on to the panel, debate me. I was studying this before there was even a fake pandemic.
Pan.
I was studying it before there was a pan. I was posting about this in 2018.
And the new word is magic potion.
There's a documentary called Endgame. They talked about the same thing, but said it in different words. Said this what happened. There's people that predicted this. The CDC. And their SPARS document made in 2017.
That's all what it is. Did you know that the birth rate in women dropped down to 75%? That means a lot of women are not fucking anymore. They're not having babies anymore.
You know what else? It got one study in the UK. It got an 87% miscarriage rate.
Wow.
The New England Journal, they tried to cheat. Women were about to have babies in the third trimester, try to add them into the study to make it down to 17. That's still a high rate, but take them out of the study, it's 87%. I mean, I don't go on fake news. This is all facts. You can look this stuff up yourself. Even with Google Sense and everything, it's still out there. Like, don't get mad at me because you were stupid enough to take a bioweapon in your arms. Or let me guess, a celebrity told you, oh, it's safe. You fell for the propaganda on Facebook. The fake fact checkers. NewsGuard's a fact checker. Who are they owned by? Billy G. Billy G is in one of his videos writing the formula. He had different letters about carbon. How do we get the carbon print down to 0? He wrote the P. You know what the P stand for? People, population, dummy. Yeah, they're coming to kill you. The same people that you trust in your news that had you put a bioweapon in your arm is coming to kill you. That's their own words. Brzezinski's been writing about it since the 70s. Klaus Schwab, Davos, he said you will owe nothing to be happy. These are all facts. Facts. Spit one fact. It's only your opinion. Opinions on facts. Facts and truth rule over opinions. Last time I checked, that's your people's problem. You dummies that took the jab is the reason why America's so messed up right now. You did it. You're the one spreading it. Don't point at me. Because if your thing works so good and protected you, you have to worry about me. Am I right? If I offer you immunity, then why you still worried about everybody else? Why are you blaming everybody else? And some reason, somehow you still listen to Dr. F. Don't wear a mask. No, wear a mask. No, wear 2 masks. No, don't wear 2 masks. Okay, the mask will come off, then it come back on. That's funny how I was posting this whole thing, how it's going to play out. I was telling Jen to post it on my Facebook. How did I know that? How did the CDC?
Dr. F is paid by the government. He's paid by the CDC to tell lies to the American people, to give the American people hope. You get what I'm saying? Take the jab and you can have your life again. That's a trick, everybody. They're trying to turn you into zombies. You're going to be walking dead. You're going to be walking dead real soon. And guess what? I got my rifle waiting on you. I'm going to bust you right between the eyes. I promise.
Yeah. We got the nerve to sit up here and try to blame us because you were stupid and took a bioweapon. Get out of here with that. Obviously, you don't keep even your fake news is admitting that you're the one spreading it. Come on now. Study out the UK. You know what it said? It said there's a high chance. This is from the UK government. This ain't me. UK government. I'm pretty sure that's more credible than some random troll inside a chat. UK government said the next variant coming from you vax people got a chance to kill 2.4 billion people. Why? Because you people were stupid. That's why. And why am I pissed off? Because you idiots sit up here like you some kind of intellectual geniuses and doctors. That's why I'm pissed off. Dr. Boyle, he wrote the documents. He wrote the Law of International Biological Weapons. You know what he said? He said it's the biological weapon, dummy. The guy who discovered the HIV came up with the first treatment. You know what he said? It's a biological weapon. From a father head, you know what he said? They're not safe. They're deadly. They're bioweapons. So you mean to tell me these sources, scientists and biologists I just named, like you know more than them? Get out of here with that, dummy. And all you could do is respond with smiley emojis. Where's your facts? Where's your sources? I told you I could debunk all your fake news sources. Why? Because I studied them. I know. I debunk fact checks before it even become news. Get out of here with that. Stop lying on you folks. Look it up. Look it up then if I'm lying in. Kerry Mullins. You know what Kerry Mullins is? He came up with the PCR test. You know what he said? It's not designed to detect for diseases. What are they using it for? What are they using it for? What are they using it for? But you know so much. How can you know these terms I'm talking about?
Tay Capone, you're a dummy. You know why? Because you're not trying to have an open mind. You think you know it all. You never went to science class, right? You know you're not a scientist. You're not a doctor. So what the fuck do you know about anything? I'm just saying. What kind of proof can you show us that we wrong?
These are all facts. These are all facts. You can't debate me on something I study night and day. I study this night and day. I got the spirit of discernment given to me by God. I can see through fake news. I know fake news as soon as it pops up. I'm talking on Facebook about fake news before it even becomes fake news. Matter of fact, I'm arguing your talking points, your lies you said now, I was talking about last year. Like you some kind of intellectual. Get out of here with that. Who you think you're talking to? How am I supposed to calm down when you dummies are the reason why the planet is so messed up? Calm down. Calm down when you dummies are the reason why the planet is so messed up. Now they're talking about, and guess what? You're going to be the same idiot. Get in the line a third time. I thought it worked. What happened? Now they're talking about, oh, you need another shot. You know what else they're gonna say? You're gonna need another one. And then you know what else is gonna be? You're gonna need one every month. See how that works?
Let's take a breath though for a second, see what she's talking about.
Last month, according
You
to
see how that
Census
works?
household
I
survey
know.
data.
You're
But
right.
More than 1.5 million homeowners are still 90 days or more past.
I am
due
citing
notice,
doctors,
but
you
not
dummy.
yet in foreclosure.
Doctors did say this,
Nearly
dummy.
4 times
John.
Where's your
pre-pandemic.
sources? Name your
John.
doctor.
State
Name your
data
sources.
John.
back night. And for renters, some 11 million adults are considered
I love
seriously
you,
delinquent
John.
on rent payments, according to Census Bureau survey data. Some $47 billion in emergency rental assistance was made available through the last stimulus packages, but only $3 billion has been distributed to 600,000 tenants so far due to red tape and local and state governments not reacting quickly enough. The White House and CDC extended the eviction moratorium by 31 days after it was set to expire at the end of June, partly to give more time to get that money out. But a 5-4 Supreme Court ruling in June that upheld the eviction moratorium said any further extension would require an act of Congress, which did not happen in time for this weekend's expiration. And we still have lots to get to here on Prime tonight. The billionaire breakup is now official. Bill and Melinda Gates are no more. And superstar rapper DaBaby is now apologizing after his offensive remarks. But first, to look at our top trending stories on abcnews.com.
World News Now.
And America This Morning.
The best new video.
Don't take off too fast, okay?
Like, come on now.
I know, honey.
Where are these doctors at that you said? Where are these doctors at? Dr. F? What happened in his emails? His email proves that he lied. He lied on the oath. Where are these doctors at? Hello, I'm waiting. A lot of stuff I say did come from doctors. I'm just saying. Real doctors. And guess what happened to them? They're not allowed to speak on Facebook. They get banned. Oh, I heard it on Facebook. It must be true. All right, let's go down that rabbit hole. Let's talk about Facebook. Dr. Danielle Anderson, the Pan fact checker on Facebook. You know where she comes from? And you can't make this stuff up. Number 2 at the Wuhan lab. You can't make this stuff up. That's where she comes from. I mean, you know so much about this. I thought you should be telling me this stuff. I'm just saying, because you're in the comments talking about you know everything. You should be telling me this stuff. Like, don't come up here telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You can't prove a single thing I said wrong. You can't debunk a single thing. I could debunk 100% what you said, though.
Bella, I let everyone have free voice in the chat room, so please don't put me in this.
And that's the problem with America. We got a lot of people commenting like they're self-proclaimed virologists and doctors.
He's not angry and he's not disrespecting your choice. He's telling
like scientists. It's not science if only
that
one
you
side.
taking a bioweapon in your arm wasn't a good idea. That's what he's telling you.
And I'm saying, don't sit up here and tell everybody it is a good idea, like it's good, and don't sit up here and lie and say that people aren't dying from it. The hospitals, remember how they lied and said the hospitals were full when they weren't? Well, they're full now. Guess who they're full with? The people that took the bioweapon. Go check your local hospitals, people. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see.
Yeah, I believe in voices. I believe
in
people mattering, and Bella took the shot. So Bella took the shot out of her own choice, or she was mind controlled to take it. Because again, once it comes on and she's activated, her soul is gone. So you took the mark of the beast. You were a lukewarmer because you didn't question it. And anyone who takes the mark of the beast, he can't see you anymore. So he can't see you because your DNA changed. So good luck with your endeavors.
You know what?
But let's see if we see you in heaven, Ane.
You know, one of the doctors were caught saying,
Let's see.
one of their trusted doctors was caught saying, you know what they're caught saying? That when you take that, you got 1/6 the immune system you used to have. So you're going to need shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. Just because it didn't kill you right away don't mean they're going to kill you later. It's a stop-kill weapon. They knew what they were doing. In 2015,
and because you chose to take it, then you chose to take it, but don't force us to take it because you chose to take something you don't know what it was. You chose to put something in your body. We don't know what's in it. You're not even sure what's in it, and you chose
Why are you going
to
to
put
take a
it in your
vaccine
body.
that was created within a fucking year? It takes 10 to 15 years for a vaccine to be approved on people, meaning that they got to do trials, right? Then they got to do the patenting. They got to get approved by the CDC, then pushed out here to the American
not even
people.
approved. It's not even approved.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a proof of emergency usage. You know how they get that? You know how they got emergency usage? You gotta have no known cures for it, but there were cures. Trump talked about a cure for it. I'm not gonna say it though. It starts with an H. Another one that starts with an A. And all of a sudden they said it didn't work. But meanwhile, it's a malaria drug that's been on the market for over 70 years. All of a sudden they want to demonize it. You know what Billy G did? He had a study of people that's going to die anyway, and he gave them he gave them the H without the zinc, and they died. And he said that's a study. Guess what he had to do? He had to retract that study. These are facts. Facts. I only go by facts and truth. I don't do conspiracy.
I appreciate you speaking, Bella. Don't take anything personal. You can't take nothing personal. John's not trying to fight you. He's just asking you for facts. Okay, wait, calm down, John. What is the problem? Okay, so let's resolve the problem because everybody has a right to their own opinion. Okay, so Bella took it. It's her own choice. So let's kind of like bring this around to what it really is, because we're not taking the magic potion here.
Nope.
We're not discriminating against people that took the magic potion.
Well, stay away from me with your contagious stuff, though. I'll tell you that, though. Stay away from me. I'll tell you that.
And if that's his choice, that's his right. He has a right to ask you to stay away from him, and do not tell him that the potion's for everybody. So that's what he's asking you, not to broadcast the fact that you took it and that it's for everybody, because again, our body's our choice. And if you didn't have any, give me 1 second, John. If you didn't have any experience of the vac and you weren't even involved with it, then again, you don't even know what you just put in your body. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Shadow, if I gave you a cup of mystery liquid, would you drink it? Hey, here, drink this cup. What is it? I don't know. Just drink it. Looks all funny and stuff. Would you drink it?
Hell no. I got to do my research first before I drink that, because I don't know what you put in.
To it. Let me tell you what the bioweapon does. It creates spike proteins, right? And these spike proteins are what's in your body, what's in your organs, made of your organs. That's why you see when CDC had that adverse effect thing that they wasn't supposed to show, but somebody leaked it anyway for a split second. Let us see. That's why you see where people their hearts, their lungs, and everything is failing. What else it does? It creates prions. Prions are a form of a protein that the body can't get rid of. These prions go to your brain, and scientists have found out that prions is what, when they go in the brain, is what causes mad cow disease, dementia, and Alzheimer's. So in 10 years,
why are you hating on folks? Take the shot. You don't know what folks are going through. People getting kicked out of their homes for taking the shot. That don't even make any sense. Your comment.
What he's trying to say is that people can lose their jobs. It was mandatory for them to take it.
And
I'm not taking it. I'll just have to live on the fucking street.
Maybe you should learn how to take care of yourself instead of looking for the government to take care of you.
Exactly.
Public housing's out.
Here's a
Get
quick
a real house.
Here's a quick science lesson, right? The flu, C-19, the common cold, are pretty much they are V's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you can't have a successful influenza vax is because there's too many different strains that always mutate. Never in the history of mankind has there been a successful respiratory vax, and they never will. You know why? Because they get too many strains. And the way the flu vax works is, say the flu starts in Australia that year, they'll get that strain, they'll test it on that. But by the time it makes it to the rest of the country, you got a different strain. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And it can be effective against it. I mean, I'm not against vaxes at all. If they work, they work. Cool. But this ain't a vax. It's a bioweapon. I'm not against vax. I'm for.
I've never taken a flu shot, and
I'm actually for.
I've never gotten sick with no flu where I fucking died.
You notice how they give us labels? Like the media got a program to call us labels.
I might buy stock now that people have to get a third. I just a smart business decision. I know that's right,
But
Anthony.
you know how the media has people programmed to give us our like labels and stuff. You're anti-vaxxers. All of a sudden, dope-de-dope-de-do, Muppet see, Muppet do. They all started saying it.
Well, everybody's
before we're conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm pro-vax. But the thing is, that's not a vax. I'm pro-vax actually. So before you call me anti-vaxxer, before as you were programmed to do to respond, as everything you do is fake news talking points. I heard it on Google. I seen somebody share it, so it must be true. But before you label me in the comments, make sure you do your homework because I'm actually pro-vax, dummy.
Making a shout out to Hobby. We love you.
You ever notice they put people in a box? Oh, they're anti-vaxxers. They're Trump supporters. They're white supremacists. They're all programmed to do the same
Why does he have to be a
stuff.
medical expert to talk? We don't have to have a degree to talk. And in the word, it says that we can be whatever we need to be. So if you ask the universe a medical question, Father will give us the answer. Are you mad because we're looking for the universe to give us the answer and
we're
not the
trying
God?
to save people. That's
We
our
don't
job
need-
as God-fearing human
We
beings, is
don't
to
need
save
no
fucking humanity.
education.
First of all, last
Not
time
your
I checked on my
lies.
Facebook, and I got the receipts. Last time I checked on my Facebook, I was posting stuff before any scientist or any doctor said anything. And I don't know about this stuff. I don't got a microscope. I don't got a lab jacket. But what are your credentials, though? Hello, chat. Where's your credentials? If everything I said is so untrue, how come you can't debunk it? How come you got no counterpoints? I mean, shouldn't you be able to? You know,
And we know how we feel. We don't need a medical doctor to tell us that if we don't want to take the magic potion, we don't have to take the magic potion. Hello?
Exactly.
Answer that question. If we don't want to take it, we don't have to. So don't come here, or not here, because everybody's welcome here. But just be careful what you say to people when you're acting like you have to force them into your belief. It's fine you took the magic potion. But again, if you get sick and your liver fails and all of a sudden you're getting blisters on your body, all of a sudden you don't know what's going on.
Don't blame us.
Well, you never said never said doctor. Okay, medical stuff is allowed to be talked about if we medically know what we are. I'm medically inclined to know what my body is. My body heals itself. I don't need your white people medicine, as they call it, to make us better. We can heal ourselves off of crops and vegetables and fruits. So no doctor or medical experts talking that. If you're a medical expert, then get your ass up here. You can't hit my link and have an intellectual conversation. I know you're not a medical expert. You're not even typing properly. No medical expert's going to start a sentence the way you do. That's first and foremost. Harler.
A medical expert, they mean Dr. F. Yeah, he counts, huh? He counts. He's a medical expert. He hasn't seen a patient in 30 years. He studied this. He was studying gain of function and when? How long? He studied mRNA. How long? He owns the patents on what? He got connection to the Wuhan lab, right?
And if you need somebody to tell you how to think, if you need a book to define your information from just a book, honey, yours lacking, because again, you shouldn't be asking other humans the question. You should be researching on all levels.
These are a bunch of dummies.
You so-called medical experts.
Wait, John, wait.
They refuse to hear the truth, so they dummies to me. You got the proof in your face, you got the evidence in your face, and you still reject it. You a dummy.
Dummy, Muppets. That's why I called you Muppets.
I love you too, Stephanie. We're fighting for truth and justice. We are the truth teller community. We don't play those reindeer games, honey. We're saving lives.
We don't play those reindeer games over here, honey.
Not at all. You better start asking the question. What's their intent? Ask questions. Why aren't you asking no questions? Yes, sir.
Hey, Janet. I don't know anybody that got hit by a car yesterday. Therefore, nobody got hit by a car.
Right. Right.
That's Muppet logic right there. That's Muppet logic. You know why you can't debate me? Because I'm too smart. Because I know all your talking points. See what I did in the beginning? I muted all your talking points in the beginning before you can even say anything because I know them all.
We all have a right to decide. Our children matter. Our children's future matter. What if you put that in your child and your child can't never give you a grandbaby? You'll
You know what's
regret
funny
that.
you say that? You know what's funny you say that? It makes people infertile, and you pass that DNA sequence down like 3 generations. At least they said. It could
I
be
know
more,
we
but they
have
said
to.
at least 3.
Yeah,
You pass
we
that
have
down
to
3
act
generations.
like that, though, Stephanie. We definitely have to act like that. That's the controversial debate. Is that eventually the people that are vaxxed, they're going to turn against us. And then they're going to make us look like we're the bad guys. And we're not the bad guys because we don't want the magic potion. We have that right to say that we don't want it. We don't care about this. Not one famous person. They can't bring me one thing. I don't care if they take away everything from me. That's not going to make me want to take it.
Nope. But not one person can show you proof that it works.
No.
Even though the same people say you're not a medical doctor, but the same medical doctors are saying that it doesn't work.
You wish you could trigger.
You didn't get the memo.
You don't even have a
You didn't
whole
get the memo.
intellectual
You need
combo,
to
bro.
you need to
And couldn't
update your
hit the
fake
link
news.
either. So
You
you're
need to
out.
update your fake news. You need to update your fake news because now they're saying it doesn't work, and you're the ones getting people sick. You need to keep track with the CNNs and the NBCs and the ABCs. I don't watch that garbage because I know
The only
better.
reason why I watch it is because I want to see the lies that they're
I
spreading.
mean, sometimes I'll share it though, just because, like, just to prove a point, or just because
Right.
every once in a blue moon they may speak truth. Every once in a blue
Well,
moon,
I don't know if they're speaking truth, but I think that there's always a
They
truth and a
fit-
lie. So yeah,
they fit
you're
what
right.
they fit whatever fits their agenda.
Right.
Whatever fits their agenda they're going to speak. But you would think all this information I just put out, people will be trying to debunk me or something, but because you can't debunk me. And guess what? Even your fake news is being forced to admit the truth. Know why? Because we went ahead and put the truth out before it got to your ears, before you could spread that lie. That's why. That's called playing chess. We're smart. You think I'm just on YouTube doing this? No.
We never said please believe me, please believe me. So
You don't gotta believe me. The evidence is all around you. It's just called
but
truth
we
and
never
facts.
said it.
You don't gotta believe me. Go ahead and take it. Go ahead, by all means. Go ahead.
Yeah, we
I'll Google you a place next to where you live. You think I care? Go ahead. Go ahead. I call it Darwinism. Getting rid of more dummies in the world. So you really think I care? I don't care. It's funny, the New World Order, the NWO, they think of it the same way. If you take it and you're stupid enough, that's on you, because they're saying this. That's how they think.
Right.
The Darwinists are saying this. They're Luciferians. So go ahead. Matter of fact, what's your zip code? I'll tell you a vax place right next to you so you can take it. You think I care? Ask me if I care.
He said it again. I never disagreed. And we're not disagreeing either, because he's talking to several people in the chat room. So not everything's about you, Beast Mode. Sorry, not sorry. All right, let's go back in. We're going in hot. Let's be nosy.
ABC News at this hour. The eviction moratorium expired on Saturday after Congress was unable to extend the pandemic measure, potentially leading to mass evictions across the country. Democrats in Congress had pushed for an extension but failed to pass it. The Biden administration announced some new measures to prevent evictions, but Dems don't believe the measures are going far enough. White House officials say a Supreme Court ruling prevents the CDC from extending the moratorium. They say states need to do more to encourage people to apply for help through the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. The Taliban is gaining large amounts of ground in rural parts of Afghanistan, and today they're fighting to control 3 major cities there. U.S. officials say they have been conducting airstrikes in the region against the Taliban for the past 2 weeks. The country's president blames the situation on the U.S.'s sudden pullout, but says his government has a plan to get things under control within 6 months. Peace talks started last year. They have not made any substantial progress. Celebrity Kathy Griffin has lung cancer, although she says she has never smoked. She announced the news on her Twitter account and says the doctors are optimistic. She says the cancer is in stage 1 and that they will have to remove half of her left lung. Nightline's Juju Chang sits down with her. Be sure to tune in on ABC. Now to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic. The U.S. daily COVID-19 case average jumping to more than 72,000 cases a day.
Thanks a lot,
more than
Vaxxers.
500% just since mid-June. The calls for more growing louder as cities and states bring back some COVID-19 rules once again to help stop the spread. ABC's Janae Norman has more from hard-hit Louisiana.
Tonight, faced with the highest COVID infection rate in the country, hospitals in Louisiana starting to run out of beds. Some reporting seeing a new COVID patient every hour.
There are no more beds left. These are
I just
the
talked about
darkest
hospitals
days
being
of
full?
this pandemic. We are no longer giving adequate care to patients.
Federal disaster teams arriving in Baton Rouge to help handle the crush of COVID patients as hospitals face staffing shortages.
We're beyond the tipping point. If adults and children 12 years of age and older would simply get what we know to be a safe and effective vaccine, we could avoid all of those.
Across the country, health officials say it's the unvaccinated being overwhelmed by the Delta variant. In Missouri, 31-year-old Daryl Barker regrets not getting the vaccine as he's fighting for his life in the ICU. His wife and 6-year-old son only able to watch through this window.
I was strongly against getting the vaccine just because we're a strong conservative family. But
Propaganda.
that little boy out there, I ready to have a vaccine.
Nearly
Respirators might kill them.
80% of U.S. counties are now either reporting high or substantial community transmission. Hospitals in those hot zones now pushed to the limit. Austin, Texas, with just 10 ICU beds for a metro area of 2.3 million people. Officials there sounding the alarm about the threat to pregnant women.
Now we ask, Lord, your special blessing upon this unit.
Teams on the front lines praying to get through this latest surge.
Our nurses who are dedicated to their community, their home, are heartbroken watching their friends, family, and neighbors die. Literally die.
Over the weekend, more than 100,000 COVID cases reported in just 24 hours, the highest daily number since February.
This remains a pandemic of the unvaccinated, where the vast majority of spread is in this country is among those who are unvaccinated.
Dr. Anthony Fauci saying CDC data shows just 0.01% of breakthrough infections after full vaccination led to hospitalization or death. Today, the U.S. hitting the president's July 4th goal of getting 70% of adults partially vaccinated nearly a month late. But 90 million Americans eligible for the vaccine have yet to get a single shot. And across the country, a maze of shifting mask rules. Louisiana today announcing a new statewide mask mandate.
Simply put, there's a dangerous amount of COVID spreading in Louisiana right now.
Our thanks to Janae for that. And the pandemic is causing so much uncertainty with so many excited to get back out there and travel. So what do you do about upcoming trips? And is the travel industry shifting its plans due to the Delta variant? Will Reeve has more.
With the UK reopening to vaccinated Americans, United Airlines telling ABC News it's adding a slew of flights between America and the UK, 40 per week. This as the more contagious Delta variant spreads across the country, some concerned about their summer travel plans. On average, more than 2 million travelers are flying every day. So we asked the experts, is it safe to travel? Dr. Anne Remoyne, epidemiologist at UCLA, says the unvaccinated are the ones who really need to rethink travel.
If you are vaccinated, you yourself do not have to be worried about, am I going to get really sick, be hospitalized and die? That is a very unlikely scenario. If you are unvaccinated, you do have to really consider this.
Other experts like Dr. Colleen Kraft, an infectious disease expert at Emory Healthcare in Atlanta, say traveling regardless of vaccination status should be done with caution.
If you have a choice in the matter, choosing something that's less risky for you and your family is something you can do.
As the variant continues to spread, airlines so far not making changes to existing protocol, including full capacity flights, masks, which are currently required by the CDC for all U.S. flights, working alongside cabin air filters, which airlines say hold up even against the very contagious Delta variant. Trade association Airlines for America saying in part, the ventilation on board aircraft provides substantial protection. Delta Airlines saying Filters capture the coronavirus family and other viruses and particulates with upwards
Can you
of
look in the back chat, Lo?
99.9 efficacy. There is no greater risk of this new variant being transmitted on board.
Our thanks to Will Reeve for that. New today, a group of bipartisan senators on the Hill have unveiled a legislative text for an infrastructure package that looks to rebuild America's roads, mass transit systems, and expand broadband internet. The new piece of legislation could be voted on as early as the end of the week. ABC's Ike Ajachi is in Washington with more.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says congratulations are in order.
We haven't done a large bipartisan bill of this nature in a long time.
After 2 long days of weekend sessions, a bipartisan group of Senate negotiators finalized an agreement for an infrastructure bill. The new price tag, $1.1 trillion with $550 billion in new spending, $110 billion earmarked for roads and bridges, $39 billion for public transit, and $65 billion to expand broadband internet. Senators introduced the bill late Sunday with what appears to be a newfound appreciation for bipartisanship.
We will continue to once again demonstrate to our country and to the world that we can indeed do our jobs, that we can legislate, that we can work together.
No new taxes, core infrastructure only, and it's great for the American people.
The full Senate will now begin working through amendments to the bill. The original group of Senate negotiators will be tasked with making sure 10 Republicans stay on board, a task West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin believes will be completed.
And you think it will pass? I do. Oh, absolutely. I do. And you see Chuck Schumer and you see Mitch McConnell both voting for the same thing. It's unbelievable.
The bill, however, will face more scrutiny once it gets to the House. Speaker Nancy Pelosi has already said she won't take up the infrastructure bill unless the Senate passes a budget reconciliation bill that includes President Biden's human infrastructure proposal that will likely cost around $3.5 trillion. Nancy Pelosi says Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will have a presentation tomorrow regarding eviction moratoriums, all while President Biden is urging state and local governments to extend the moratorium by 2 months. Lindsay?
Ike, thank you. Last month, Cuba was rocked by the largest protests to occur on that communist island nation in a generation. Thousands took to the streets, frustrated by a battered economy with limited opportunities for upward mobility and food and power shortages. All this as that government, like every other nation, has struggled to contain COVID. In the weeks since, Cuba's president has blamed U.S. sanctions for the weak economic growth on the island. The Biden administration has imposed more sanctions targeting Cuba's police force and its leaders over what some call a brutal crackdown on protests. And the people of Cuba continue to struggle. Joining us now is Cuba's ambassador to the United Nations, Yuri Gala-Lopez. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on your program.
On the day after those mass July 11th protests, your president, who initially issued a call to combat, did acknowledge that Cuban families have been hard hit by the current economic crisis that the pandemic has only made worse. What's the government doing to address the concerns of the many who took to the streets?
Well, let me start by saying that on Sunday, July 11th, there were some demonstrations of a limited scale that took place that day. But it should be noted that there wasn't any social uprising or a general uprising, but demonstrations of a limited scale that did not gain the support of the whole majority of the population. As a matter of fact, most of the people who took to the streets on Sunday the 11th were actually in favor of the government. These events, it should be noted, were the result of an intense political and communications operation orchestrated and actually carried out and financed with U.S. federal governments and some funds from the political machinery in Florida. I think that's important to be taken into account. In regards to your specific query, I should say that the Cuban government has actually said with transparency that there are a number of issues that could be improved, and we are in the way of addressing those legitimate concerns.
Cuba.
July 11th, in spite of that some people
Did you want to speak on it, brother?
I said Cuba. It's funny how people talk about rights for people, but then you look at Cuba, you see the Biden administration just sitting by, not doing anything. Like you see the Cubans, you see them protesting in the streets of Florida. You know what they say to these lefties that try to, oh, we support you. They flick them off and cuss them out.
Yeah, sir, you're in the private chat. She can't see you.
It's like people in this country that know nothing about communism, or more. They think they're bigger than experts than people that flee communism to come here. How does that work? Explain that one. Explain that one, lefties. Like people don't get like America. Once you break it, that's it. This is all we have. That's it. America works when you let it work.
Sir,
Are
you there, sir?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Mr. Emperor.
Shadow.
I'm not going to beg nobody to talk to me. Don't worry about it.
Sir, you're talking in the private chat.
Yeah, I know that. I was telling you.
My bad. I didn't even see it there.
Yeah.
Because you can't be seen. That's why I brought us back out. You couldn't be seen over
No,
there.
well, you're going to say hi to two people. Make sure you say hi to the third person. That's all what I'm saying.
Right. They can't see you. That's why I brought you out so you can speak. Like you can't be seen over here on this side like this. Nobody knows your handle.
Oh, okay. Sir. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Hey Bella,
so that's why I'm letting you come out.
My apologies for earlier, but I'm like very passionate about this stuff.
GLM shadows up here.
I see where things are headed, and things aren't headed in a very good direction. All people have to do, all people have to do is look at the truth. That's it. Just look at the truth. That's it. Look at the truth and facts. Listen to the doctors and scientists they say don't listen to, because they know what they're talking about. They actually treated and cured people of this. Matter of fact, look at the Nuremberg codes. You know, made for the Jewish during the Holocaust.
Yeah.
If you look at this vax, it violates all 10 codes of the Nuremberg. It violates all 10 of them. So you mean to tell me everything goes out the window because of a little tiny bug created in the lab by Dr. F and his minions? You mean to tell me that all law and order and all rights go out the window? We should be very afraid. Right. How are we the country that tore down the Nazis in World War I and II? How are we the country that put a man on the moon? How are we the country that invented the airplane, invented flight?
What you think, Emperor Shadow?
How are we the country that gave you the internet? But
John, rubber band, John.
I don't finish. How do you feel, Shadow? We're the country that's we stirred down. We stirred down the Nazis in World War I and II. Me and you actually fought for this country.
Let me tell you something. The American military is no more. Let's get that right. Okay. So in boot camp right now, if a drill sergeant, a drill instructor is like too harsh at you or is hurting your feelings or curse you out too much, all you got to do is pick up the smiley faces, right? The green smiley face, the yellow smiley face, the orange and the red, right? We didn't have that in basic training when I went.
Me either.
You get what I'm saying? And then now you can be a transgender. Nothing against the transgenders out here. I love them. But you can be transgender and be in the military right now and marry in the military. We're the only country that does that.
You know what's funny? How you say that? Because in China, if you're caught being one of those people, they kill you. If you're caught teaching that, they kill you. But guess what? China also funds that stuff here.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. They actually fund that stuff here.
They fund everything here.
That's what's crazy about it. They do. They own 5 out of the 6 major Hollywood studios. That's China for you. That's not a coincidence. What happened when the Houston Rockets player, the owner, when he spoke out against China? What happened? LeBron came to their defense.
Yeah.
Isn't he supposed to be the biggest icon in the NBA? When you say something wrong about China, it's a problem. Say something wrong about this country, just crickets. Nobody ever thought about that? I know Shadow did. I know Janet did. I know some in the chat did. Like, open your eyes, people. You're letting your country be destroyed right in front of your face. You really think you're gonna be part of this system, this great new system, this great utopia? You're not getting the utopia. Are things getting better? No, things are getting worse and worse and worse. They're gonna push and push and push until we push back. That's how they operate. They're saying this. And they push because there's never been accountability for their actions. There hasn't been justice because justice is largely absent in this country. It's like the court systems, it's against us, but you be a politician, you do very corrupt things, nothing happens. Unless you're a Trump supporter, you know how that works. You know what, Bella? Sometimes you got to sit back and just learn things, you know? You can't just say things that are not true, but I know what I'm talking about. You know what I do? If I don't know about it, I learn about it, then I speak about it. That's what a wise man does. Anything else is the words of a fool. Like, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when all these cases start to hit, when they figure it out?
I think World War III is coming. I think all this stuff is a distraction to look away from the enemy countries that want to nuke us. That's what I think. All this stuff is a distraction.
Yep. Oh, they figured it out quick. Hit them with a real big cyber attack. Take everything down. We already did the test runs, and it was right under their noses.
Time is definitely running out, folks.
Everything's always under their noses.
Time is running out.
Time is running out. We really don't have to
trying to tell them. They're not listening.
Armageddon is coming.
They're gonna be running around like Chicken Little.
See what Rick Dick said? We probably don't have a corrupt media presence that we have here. Like the media next to liberals are our biggest threat, our biggest enemy.
Who said that?
No,
Sam Rice Hill, how you doing, man?
Rick Dix made a good comment. He said, "C is not as insane in other countries. Where I live, it's not even talked about," and that's true. Like I said, I mention Sweden all the time. Sweden never had any mass.
I gave permission. Sorry about cutting you off, bro. I gave permission to say that nasty word. You gave Rev. I didn't give Rev any permission to say that. What are you talking about? So we're gonna talk behind the scenes, Empress Janet. Something don't seem right. Like I told you before.
Let's stay on topic.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody acting like they running my shit. Hit the motherfucking StreamYard and talk that shit. Other than that, shut the fuck up and talk like these other people are talking.
And nobody give that clown any permission. Anyways, if you look at Sweden, they got close to 0 cases right now. They never had any masks.
Sam Hill is a troll.
They never had any lockdowns.
Where he's coming from, so
a very low vax rate. But somehow, look at Sweden. Iceland got a 90% vax rate amongst the highest cases in the world. Gibraltar, higher than 90%. Singapore about 85%. Israel a little bit higher than 90%. But you have to get the most cases. How is that possible? I thought it worked. I thought it was safe and effective. Israel did a study with 6 million people, and guess what they found?
You all right, Mr. Turner?
Yeah.
The people that took it, they're the ones dying. They're the ones spreading it.
You are trolling, Sam. We don't even know you, bro. And you're trying to bring in the weirdo again. John, hit him with the hammer, John. It's probably, it's Rev's little dick sucking friend.
Exactly.
You can hit him with the hammer. Yeah, you can time him.
We'll give you a little bit of time to think about your. We'll give you a little bit of time to think about your sins.
I love John.
You shall repent, or that's another few hundred seconds. Your choice.
Well, look at that. Go, Helen Keller and friends. At least you can see that. See? That's all. Shout out to Helen Keller being a smart human being. See how they played himself.
How does Helen Keller see, Shadow? That's just me.
I don't think you do. I just think that you're a real smart guy. I give you props on that. See, I'm not a hater.
It could be the fake one, Bella.
I'm
We
a
don't take it personally.
congratulator. One thing about me, Empress J,
Here, do the
I'm gonna call you
Skeletor
Empress
guy
J.
too.
I'm a
Skeletor can get
congratulator. I'm
pegged
not a
too,
hater.
bro. Oh,
If
I
somebody's
know.
doing good, I'm gonna congratulate you. I'm not gonna hate.
Oh, thank you. That's why I love Stephanie in the chat room. Shout out to Stephanie. I love the way you speak, Empress Jenna. I appreciate that, darling. And I value you, darling. Your voice matters. If you ever want to come to the stage and speak about anything,
Nah,
that
you know what it
like,
is?
you're
Because
more
we
than
all
welcome.
bring our own knowledge on different subjects to the table,
Exactly.
you know? I mean, we all learn from each other. There's something we can all learn from each other. It's not that I know more about something. This is like, I've been studying this like all day because I know if this isn't stopped, that's it for America. You know, this is literally my future.
You want
gotta
to
be
do
in
the
touch.
mental, listen, you want to do the mental asylum person too? Oh, the movie man's involved. You want to help him? Here, I'll come out here and help you. People want to act retarded. Look, they want to act like little kids. You put them in
Oh, they
time.
want to get attention. They want to say stuff they can't say to my face. Look at these little trolls. Oh, you want to hug or
Hey,
something?
Anthony, you got to use your wrench and time them out. Hit the button on the three little dots
You know
on
what,
the
Anthony?
right hand
It's
side.
not that they're not organized. It's just that it's what their masters, I call them avatars. The avatars call them useful idiots. When you got the useful idiots like going along with something, going along with the lies and the truth, that keeps the lie afloat. How can we be united? How can we be united if there's useful idiots always in the way? Anything I'm doing exposing the Illuminati, it's not them that's the problem. It's the useful idiots that's
Wait,
always in the
not
way.
that word. John.
My bad.
Yeah, the ill nana. No, you won't get timed out. You're fine. You're fine. The only time people get timed out is when they're using the hard N. No white or black people will be called the hard N around here. So everyone has a right to speak as long as they're speaking with, safety. The hard N is not a safe word for people around
It's
here.
when meth addicts. It's when
They
meth
get
addicts.
timed out.
When meth heads like Rev make multiple accounts, come into people's chat and try to act tough to say stuff he won't say in people's face. So why can you get mad at that?
Well,
You
Rev
did.
actually sent
You
his
know?
friends. Those are his friends. So,
He don't got no friends.
oh,
Let's be
dang.
real. He don't
I'd
got no
rather
friends.
have slavery back than COVID. Okay.
Hey, but this is slavery in
Even
a way.
look, Stephanie said, "Wow, that's awful." Like, yeah, Helen Keller, we're not going to pick slavery over COVID. Okay, we're not doing that. Okay, those are
Nah.
two things that we're going to put together.
You got to think. COVID right now, especially with the vaccine.
Jack says the border between Point Roberts, WA, and BC, Canada is literally 12 inches of orange traffic cones. Wow.
I see that when people step into their front yard in the United States or the backyard there in Canada. I see those videos.
What's up? What's good, homie?
I'm going to report myself. What are you talking about? I'm
1,
going
2
to-
sounds like Tyree Sneed. I wanted to read the chat room. I'm sorry. I'm an older white woman. Well, we love white women. White women
don't matter.
helped Harriet Tubman.
No matter white, brown, black,
Shout out
purple,
to the
pink,
white women.
yellow.
We love you,
had to
Stephanie.
everybody had to put a mask on their face, regardless of what color you were. This affected all of us. So it don't
It
matter
is
what color you
easier
are.
to kill
We
the
should all be in this
plantation
fight together.
slave master than a COVID slave master. Good one,
I don't know.
Jack.
You know what? I don't know because you got these Democrats that's been in office forever. Like when have you ever heard a black Democrat doing something for
Oh,
people?
sorry.
Instead
I
of
think it's
all they do is cry about
enslaving
race.
us, though. At
What does Al
least
Sharpton
slavery
do?
was
What
an
does Jesse Jackson do?
John, can I read?
No.
You gotta read
Yes.
the
No.
comments, sexy.
My bad. Sorry.
Stay on task, darling. And I need you to help me because I need glasses. At least slavery has the opportunity for a career as a house, and instead of COVID, there's no ladder to move up. Just my
No,
thoughts
you got
as
a good
a
point.
black adult.
You got a good point right there, though. You got a good point. I never thought about it
I
that
ain't
way.
no
It's true.
Tyrese. And then Steph laughed. I hate that food. That's right, Red Bull Jack. Well, we agree with you, Helen. Everyone is a house and under the COVID. No, that's a good one. 1, 2. Yeah.
What do you think of that,
I like
Shadow?
that one. Shadow,
Is that true?
sir. He's always getting something to eat. I swear he is.
I don't blame him. I just ate. I was being lazy. I ate me a TV dinner.
I know, right? I'll be eating and munching and munching and eating. Emperor Shadow.
He's eating peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Stephanie laughed, though. I would have to agree with 1, 2, though. We're going with 1, 2. Shout out to 1, 2. Sir, we would like you to
What was that comment?
I'm just letting you talk.
well, we'd like to get your opinion on this comment.
I
1,
can't get a
2.
word in. Goddamn.
That's John.
My fault.
It's usually me. It's always me, though.
I'm about to cut y'all tongues off.
Hey, Rubber Duck's in the house.
What's going on, Rubber Ducky?
Shout out to the
Salute to you.
Rubber Ducky, you're
That's
the
Rubber.
one.
Just call him Rubber. He's like a rubber band. He'll bounce about. But
Rubber
Emperor,
band.
I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you, everyone is a house and under COVID. What do you think about that comment?
I think it's kind of dumb. I don't really agree with that. I just think we're mentally enslaved that this thing is real when it's not.
Well, that's what
Nothing but
that
a trick
word
from the
kind of
government.
means. But that word
Yeah,
kind of
pretty
means
much,
that,
yeah.
and they got tricked to do something. So I don't know. I'm going with 1,
Well, I
2.
wouldn't put the N on it though. I
Well,
was just
it's
saying that
the-
we're
it's
like
the
enslaved
dark-
in the mind.
It's the dark humor, sir. It's dark
Yeah, I understand
kind
that.
of the
I get what you're
truth,
saying.
sir. Yeah, it's
Can I,
kind of the
can,
truth.
can I ask y'all a question?
Yes, dear.
What it like Shadow and Janet? Where do y'all think all this is going? Like when it's all said and done, where do y'all think all this is going? Like, how do y'all see things? How do y'all see things playing out?
Uh-oh.
It's gonna get worse and worse.
Uh-oh. Down the rabbit hole. What you mean? This is it.
The FEMA camps.
This is it. Yup.
FEMA camps.
Yes.
Yep.
And they're going to lock people like us up. It's all fun and games until the shit gets real. And when the shit gets real, that's when the shit's going to get real, real. And that's what I'm saying. What are you going to sell your soul for? Because I'll never sell mine. I'm never taking it, and I'm never going to jail about it. You're not taking my First Amendment, my Second Amendment, my Third. You're not taking them. And they're taking them. And people are just sitting back and acting like we shouldn't be in an uproar about that. But I can't, and I will not. And whatever she had in that fucking bottle, she could shove that up her fucking ass. I'm not fucking taking it. Just like he said. That's why they got rid of him, because he didn't take that shit. Look at him. They up there like, sir, they're going to kill us. They're going to kill us, sir. He's like up there like, you know what I mean? They cutting and clipping everything he said. That's why he said fake news. The ULUB, fake news. They run around with fucking narratives, lying and shit, making that shit look real. And you're fucking believing it because you're a dummy looking like these idiots. Come on now. We're not fucking animals, man. I'm not a fucking animal, bro. And I don't want fucking DNA animal in me. I don't want no robotic shit in me.
You want to hear something real quick, Jay?
Look,
all
they
these
just showed the
motherfuckers come
Yes,
out,
sir.
they're gonna fight the power, right? They're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
fight the powers that be. But when the powers that be come to your house with them AKs and them assault rifles, you know what I mean? You're gonna have like 1,000 soldiers pointing this at you. They're gonna say, take that. Huh? What you gonna do? You gonna fold up? You gonna say, okay, sir, I'm gonna take it because you want to live, you want to eat, you want your family to live, or you gonna take
I'd
that
be
bullet to
honored
the
to
head?
answer that question. I'll take the bullet to the head, sir, and I'll get on my knees and tell them that the Lord God's coming for them.
I believe that you will do that, but I think other people that say they're gonna do it, they're gonna fold up in that moment.
Well, that's them.
I think so too.
And I wish you the best of luck, honey, because you're going to fail the test. The test of the Lord God is real. And if you don't believe in him, then you're a weak individual.
In the
Because
Bible, it
whatever
states
you do,
you can't buy, sell, or trade without the mark
and
of the
every
beast.
knee's going to bow and every tongue's going to confess that he's real. So I'll wait. I'll wait.
So what they're going to do
figure it
now,
out.
they're going to say, if you don't take the jab, you're not going to be able to get water. You're not going to be able to get food. You're not going to be able to have fun. You're not going to be able to travel, live your life. So a lot of people are going to get bored in the house. They're going to say, fuck it. I'm going to take the jab because I want my life back. That's what they're going to do.
They're too busy being assholes and can't get along with people in the home on the internet because they're too busy making up make-believe stories of themselves and they can't even keep it real.
You literally can't take a dump in your house because the water's off.
Exactly. Yeah, it's about to get bad.
Yeah, I remember when America used to stand for something. Now it's like
I don't remember.
4th of July.
Let's go down this rabbit hole real quick, sir. Please forgive me.
Advisory calling misinformation surrounding the pandemic and vaccines an urgent threat in the fight against COVID.
Today, we live in a world where misinformation poses an imminent and insidious threat to our nation's health.
The nation's Dr. Vivek Murthy saying 2/3 of people who are not vaccinated believe common myths about vaccines. He's now calling on social media companies and politicians to take more responsibility.
Every one of us has the
More
power
censorship.
and responsibility to make a difference in this fight. Lives are depending on it.
This as the nation grapples with the surging Delta
Can
variant,
you put your
now
mic on
considered
mute,
more
sexy?
contagious than the previous known variants. Overnight, encouraging news on the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine. New peer-reviewed data shows the J&J shot may provide a strong immune response at least 8 months after immunization and may also offer good protection against the Delta variant. It's already believed 2 shots of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines are also effective against the variant. But tonight, with the pace of new vaccinations now at a crawl, COVID cases in the U.S. doubling in just 3 weeks. In Tennessee, only 38% of residents are fully vaccinated.
It's sadness, it's frustration, it's fear.
The state's now former vaccine chief, Dr. Michelle Fiskus, claimed she was fired after trying to get the word out about teens and vaccines, saying she sent out a memo alerting vaccine providers about a law that allows some teens to get the COVID shot without their parents' permission. Fiskus says state officials then halted outreach on all childhood vaccines, not just the coronavirus.
They are listening to the whispers and the disinformation from the anti-vaccine contingent and repeating Facebook memes.
Tonight, in a statement, the Tennessee Health Department saying while it had not stopped childhood immunizations, it was mindful of hesitancy and the intense national conversation around vaccines. And underscoring the risk facing young people who are unvaccinated, tonight in Utah, health officials are investigating cases linked to 10 different summer camps in just 1 week.
How worried are you about the start of the school year just weeks away?
With the Delta variant coming on, there is some worry about when school starts and how this will shape up.
And tonight, the NFL Network's Rich Eisen trying to get the word out to get your vaccine. Sharing on Instagram, he has tested positive despite being fully vaccinated, saying doctors have told him it could have been much worse without the vaccines. Adding, every healthcare professional I've come across in the last few days tell me the 2 shots of Pfizer I got in February are what's keeping a 52-year-old like me from a far worse experience than the awful one I'm having. So be careful if you're vaccinated, and if you're not vaccinated, don't wait another second.
So many trying to get that message out. Whit Johnson joins us now. Whit, word late today about the impact of COVID on the sports world, this time a cancellation in Major League Baseball. Tell us about that.
Lindsay, that's right. A number of trends moving in the wrong direction. And late today, Major League Baseball announced that tonight's game between the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees will be postponed after 3 pitchers tested positive. This is just the 8th game so far this year to be postponed due to COVID and the first since mid-April. Lindsay?
Whit Johnson, our thanks to you. Now to the growing extreme conditions in the West tonight, the worsening drought as yet another heat wave is on the way. Nearly 2/3 of the West is in extreme or exceptional drought. That's the highest number in government record since 1999. The heat and smoke from wildfires ramping up the problem, and lakes and rivers are literally running dry tonight and threatening the water supply for millions. Kana Whitworth is in Utah for us tonight.
Tonight, the National Weather Service is warning that the coming heat wave could break more records and fuel more fires, and will definitely bring more triple-digit temperatures. Nearly 2/3 of the West is in exceptional or extreme drought, the highest number since the government started keeping track in 1999. Overnight, those much-needed monsoon rains moving into the Southwest seem to do more harm than good. Oh my God! Washing away cars and stranding this family on top of their SUV in Arizona. And we've seen the images, bone-dry lakes that millions need for drinking water, but it's also having a profound effect on agriculture. Montana ranchers Mike and Nancy Ero are worried.
Someday I might wake up and find out I don't have any water for my cows. Maybe they'll dry up.
Food for the cows also scarce, as the hot, dry conditions are optimal for a catastrophic infestation of grasshoppers, taking over their fields, eating 6 times their body weight daily.
They ate 100% of everything.
The USDA predicts this year grasshoppers could devour nearly 35 million acres across the West. And it's possible the worst is yet to come.
So if there's another mild winter in store, what does that mean?
Our cattle won't be here.
Oh, he's crying. Oh, it's that serious.
And the concern of many that the worst
And they
is,
cut
in
him
fact,
off
yet to
because they
come.
didn't
Kana
want the
Whitworth
truth
joins us
come
now from
out.
Great Salt Lake State Park in Utah.
Unbelievable.
Kana, water levels so low there, officials have had to take some drastic action. What are they doing?
Yeah, so Lindsay, you can see it right here behind me. They've had to pull all of the boats out of the water. They say that in the coming weeks, they expect the water levels to be at historic lows. So there's still a few remaining boats out there. They will be gone in the next couple of weeks. And what's really scary, Lindsay, is they say it could be 2 years before they get to go back in the water.
Oh, wow. And also, Kana, this drought is pervasive at the moment and impacting so many different aspects of daily life. You're just back from Montana. What was the reality like on the ground there?
You know, Lindsay, we saw a lot of emotion from lifelong ranchers. Some of them are third generation, and farmers, as they call them, growers in the area. They provide our country's food supply, and they are at a loss. They don't know what to do, and they're fearful of their future. And Lindsay, what they really wanted me to pass along was that at this point, it is not about the dollar anymore. It is about their lives.
Kana Whitworth, our thanks to you. And for more on that, let's bring in our Rob Marciano. Rob is tracking those fires, the heat, monsoon rains.
One more, and
the
then we'll
drought.
talk
Lots
about
to
it,
keep an
guys.
eye on. Hey, Rob.
All the
Around
actions
the
in West, Lindsay.
table.
Good evening to you. We have more dangerous fire weather conditions, more so across the Northwest where red flag warnings are posted. Take a look east of the Cascade Crest and through central Oregon and Washington. Gusty winds, low levels of humidity, and maybe some thunderstorms that don't produce much rain but produce lightning. So that's always dangerous, especially over there in Idaho and parts of Montana. You see the monsoon flow bringing in moisture to the Four Corners states where flash flood watches remain up. And anything that's downwind of the fires that are burning in Northern California, air quality is poor. You see that excessive heat watch across western Montana? That's the beginning of our next heat wave. In Billings, it'll get to 102, 104 degrees on Monday. This is in the northern Rockies. Can you believe it? Salt Lake City does not cool off. I'm not sure we'll hit records there, but yet more days that are up and over 100 degrees in that city. And the 6 to 10 day outlook doesn't bode well for the areas that are entering this heat wave, likely to be above average temperatures in the northern Rockies again. And precip is going to be low, especially in some of the fire areas there in California. So the drought will only be getting worse, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Lindsay?
lots of triple-digit temperatures, especially in the northern Rockies.
Let's talk about it. Triple digit. I couldn't do it. If it was 110 degrees here, I would pass out. Mr. Unknown. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Thank you. I got a cousin live in Dallas, Texas, and I just can't imagine living in the 100-degree weather out there. It'll kill me as well. I gotta have like a whole case of water and Gatorade and all type of shit.
I would too. It would be crazy. It gets to be 90 here and it's hot.
Exactly. But I love the wintertime. I love snow.
I hear
You know what's funny? You know what's funny though? Is that California wouldn't have a drought, but they release a lot of our water, most of our water, 90% into the ocean. Talking about they want to save some fish. How stupid is that? Yeah. Remember, climate change. That's the other big hoax. That's the other second big hoax going around. What's it like in Michigan, Shadow? You said it's like 90?
It's a lot of hunting. You know, I stay in Saugatuck, Michigan, so for the winter, we hunt deer. Me and my cousin. Yeah.
So you
my
live
wife
like in the
can
forest?
hunt too. She know how to use the
That's
rifle
good.
real good. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. It's a lot of forest land right there. Well, I'd imagine
Yeah.
so it snows. Yeah.
A whole bunch of it.
A bunch of pine trees and stuff.
Yep.
So you get like the lake effect where it gets all cold and stuff then.
Yeah, we got all that.
Man. People don't know about that though. Have you
I
never
like
been to a
spring,
cold
autumn,
environment?
and snow too, Bella.
Spring, autumn, and snow? I know in Pennsylvania it's pretty much I would say Michigan gets colder sometimes.
He said
actually
it does.
Yeah, I think Michigan will get
Yeah.
colder.
Yep, he said it does.
Yeah, we get the same weather from Chicago. Whatever go through Chicago
man.
come to Michigan.
Ooh.
See, I get all that wind.
Yeah, and that's hella
Yeah, I
cold.
don't,
'cause
yeah, I
we're
don't get a name.
downtown,
They get
that
the
shit
Windy
is cold.
City.
Ah,
Yeah, I've been to Chicago a couple times, and one time when I was out there, it was like below 3.
Have you ever made deer jerky, sir?
Yeah, I
Anthony's
got a machine.
asking. Anthony's asking. He said he'd love some homemade deer jerky.
Hell yeah,
What's it-
and it's healthy for
what's
you.
it-
It's protein.
What's it taste like? I never ate deer. What's it taste like?
It tastes like chicken / turkey a little bit.
Everything tastes like chicken. Frog legs. Punani. Everything tastes like chicken.
Everything tastes like chicken.
Hell
No, I can't
yeah.
say because I never tasted, so I gotta take your word for it. So I don't know. So I gotta
Yeah,
take your
deer
word for it.
meat is real healthy for you, man. There's a lot of protein in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, you don't get that meat that's injected with all that stuff, getting it from the supermarkets. I could imagine because you're hunting it. Yeah.
Elk is
I believe it.
better, Jack said.
Yeah, elk is okay.
Yeah.
But I prefer deer.
What does elk taste like?
Elk has a different taste from deer meat. Like
Elk
way
taste
different
picky.
taste. But it's still good though.
Okay. He said it.
I think I
No,
prefer
it
it.
tastes like halfway between bison and beef.
Yeah.
And Stephanie said very lean.
I was about to say like barbecue egg or elk on the grill. That sounds good though. I never had it though, but it does sound good on the grill.
So do you kill the deer, sir, and cut it up and clean it and take your
Got it.
meat and everything?
Yeah.
No, shut the front door. What
I
do
do
you
all
do?
that.
Yeah.
Shit, my son helped me do it.
Okay.
You know, we just slit the middle of the chest and we open it up and we pull the heart out, the guts, everything.
What?
Yep.
What do you do with that?
We throw it away.
Ew.
Do you need? Excuse me. Do you need different seasonings? Do you need like different
cut his
seasonings
head
for
off
deer and
or
elk?
something? I know. Do you need?
Oh yeah, you
seasoning?
can put different seasonings on it. You know, like I
Okay.
put different seasoning on the deer beef jerky, but I just put like sea salt and pepper. That's all I put on there. But they got some people that like to put different seasonings on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that
Stephanie
maybe they
said
had like.
her nephew hunts and he gets it every year.
That's
Awesome.
cool. Yeah, I can't
So
wait
you-
for the winter to come so I can go hunt again.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to get our own food and make our own food, and we need to learn how to hunt.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna send you a deer, Janet,
You gonna send me one?
for Christmas. Yeah, I'm gonna UPS it to you.
Some deer meat?
No, a live deer.
No, a real one? I can't have a reindeer?
Yeah, a reindeer.
You can't eat Rudolph? No.
They try to make me Rudolph, but I don't play those reindeer games. Period. Because Rudolph, he controlled the
What did Jack
sleigh.
Theirs too gamey. They eat too much moss lichen for its anti-freezing properties. We can basically giant rabbits with antlers. It's like that. But good greasy bear soup is awesome.
Bear soup. Let's go down that rabbit hole.
Bears look greasy.
I never had that.
You never had that, sir? I never did.
Never had bear
I would
soup.
freaking try it, bro. Like, I would freaking try it. Like, that made me excited right there. Because I ain't never heard no shit like that. Let's eat some motherfucking bear. Look. Rubber said
dub.
don't eat bear meat.
Oh, why you gotta delete that?
I'm
sorry.
Nightbot, no. Nightbot, no.
No emojis,
He's our
any
friend.
exceptions. Why'd you do that to Rubber Dub? He had the coolest comment.
Oh,
We're
man.
sorry about the Rubber Dub.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Nightbot
was
don't play
cute.
any games. He hates emojis.
Yeah, Nightbot doesn't like emojis. Don't spam with emojis or chat or caps. Please hit the like. Thank you.
How long you been hunting for, Shadow?
Oh, I've been hunting, man, since I was like 17 years old. I used to do it with my dad. Yeah.
Cool.
So you learn how to have the rifle?
Oh, hell yeah.
But so speaking of which, so you never had to. I mean, you know all this talk about guns kill people. They're so bad for people. But you've been hunting since 17 years old. But you don't got no gun charges. What happened? I thought guns were bad and evil.
No, we were taught how to do certain things, but we didn't get a lot, you know. I'm from Pennsylvania, darling. Shout out to Pittsburgh. Go Steelers. But yeah, like we were taught like certain things like how to clean the meat after it was brought in. We never saw what Emperor Shadow said that they were doing. We weren't allowed to watch. I remember they killed the sheep, they killed the chickens, they killed the rabbits.
Before we went down the rabbit hole, gotta kill them.
But because like we never went to the grocery store, we ate off the land. My grandma's from
Definitely.
Lancaster, so we learned how to live off the land. That's, you know, why I keep telling people that you're eventually going to have to. They're not going to provide food for you, so you're going
Right.
to have to get it yourself. Rabbit is good, Stephanie. It is. It was really
Stephanie
good.
got a real power tool. Y'all see that? Stephanie got a real power tool right there.
Oh yeah.
She got Oh no, never mind. I was about to say shit.
357.
No, I was looking at Shadow. I was looking at Shadow's avatar. I was seeing what's in there, but it
he
wasn't.
disappeared.
It wasn't the same.
Come back to me, Shadow. Come back to me. Let's look at this though. I like to be nosy. I love the news just because I like
nightmare. More athletes
be
are thrown in
nosy.
crosshairs, including U.S. men's basketball player who now will not be able to play in the games.
Yep.
Meanwhile, cases surge in
Look,
Tokyo.
he didn't want to
But up
take
next,
it.
Remember the viral video released by the company Neuralink?
Set the monkey
Monkeys playing
free!
Ping pong with their minds. Our in-depth look at the revolutionary advances
Ping pong
in
with
brain
your
science
mind,
technology
though.
and the concerns that are growing.
Look at this. Look at this. They want you to be a robot. They're gonna cut your arm off.
at stake, so much on the line.
They're gonna cut your arm off and then tell you they have an arm for you. Come back to me, Shadow.
Shadow.
Look at your girlfriend.
Who was that?
Don't say that's my boyfriend. Don't you dare.
I didn't see him
they're
first.
together.
There's your boyfriend right there. No, right there.
Right here. Welcome back.
Thank you. They keep kicking me out. What the fuck is going on?
Oh my God. It's the
It's been acting funny.
electronics. Yep.
It's been acting
Internet.
funny.
Wow.
I had to reinstall my driver just to be able to talk again.
Damn.
On my laptop. Yep.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it is.
They don't
In
like me
your
and John.
breath, suck to move
Nah,
up, low
it's
to move
they,
down. The
they
text
talk
is
too much
available
about
from
the truth.
Yeah, we're talking about the truth, sir. You know how they get.
We can't program them. Nothing works. We can't program them.
That's
The
why we have
machines.
to change subject and then
Houston,
go
we
back.
got a problem. They can't be
Right.
programmed.
Empress Janet has found several people. We're on watch of her. Please copy.
They
Damn,
can't be
she's
programmed.
dead. Look.
Get out the robots.
Pregnant she was gunned down. 42-year-old woman from a look.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Wow. Hey, did y'all hear about that? That's crazy. Well, he did it?
Yeah, the football player guy.
Wow. OJ did it and got away with it, so I can do it.
Oh God, they do that, don't they? Look, murder and scandal in Chicago, sir. They always say
Yeah.
Chicago is the worst state for crime. Is that true?
Yes, it is true. They call
Oh, my
Chicago
God.
Chirac. It's so much murder.
Chirac, yeah.
Oh
I
my
remember one
God.
time I was in at this pizza place downtown
Yeah.
Chicago. Me and my girlfriend. This was a couple years ago before we got married.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Basically it was a drive-by. Like 5 people got killed right in front of us, man.
Did y'all hear about what happened in New York? That 10 people shot at the laundromat?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's Democrats for you, Chicago. That's Democrats for you. that's what's crazy about it, though. Like you said earlier, Shadow, the truth is in front of people's eyes, but they refuse to see it. It's like plain as day.
Exactly. They don't want to see the truth. They keep running from the truth. It's right there in front of your eyes.
Right in front of our eyes, yep.
And some things we can see to unsee. Let's watch this. Look, I like to be nosy, sir.
Sure, potentially infinite possibilities and also concerns about how this technology could be used or misused. Our Kaylee Hartung files this in-depth report on one of the leading creators in this field who at one point became
Exactly,
so concerned
John.
with its power. he
They're
gave up
trying
his
to connect
patent
to your
a
brain,
university.
sir.
It was the
Imagine
viral
being
video
hacked.
moments
Freedom
around the
monkey!
world.
Okay,
In
let's be
April,
quiet,
a
John.
monkey playing
Please,
a game
love
of
you.
Pong using only its mind with the help of what's called a Neuralink. The device is Elon Musk's latest venture into a fast-evolving tech space.
Shadows
Tiny
up
chips that
here.
get
Y'all can't
implanted
see
in the
Emperor
brain.
Shadow?
Sounds like something out of the Matrix, but this is not a movie.
Oh shit, here goes, sir. Here it goes, down the rabbit hole.
Brain chips are part of a
I told
revolutionary
these
field that's been around
motherfuckers.
longer than you think.
Is this science fiction or is this reality?
It is
I
absolutely
remember
science
this.
fiction that has turned into real science.
Elon.
What Elon Musk
John.
did with these monkey trials showing how monkeys with brain chips could control computers with nothing but their minds, the first version of this happened in the 60s.
Jeff Steibel is an entrepreneur, investor, and brain scientist. He's the former owner of BrainGate, a pioneering brain chip company.
Explain in the simplest terms to me what that technology is.
When you think of these brain chips, it's actually pretty simple. All we're doing is tapping into that electrical current, reading the language of the mind, sending it to a computer, and the computer interprets that language, converts it, and you can do all kinds of things with it. Really that simple.
The chip, more formally known as Brain-Computer Interface, or BCI, is the size of a baby aspirin, connected to a larger device called a pedestal
This is what
that
John
gets
was
surgically
talking
attached to the
about.
motor cortex. The goal is to profoundly improve the lives of people suffering from
It's in that
paralysis,
magic
brain injuries, or
potion.
other spinal cord injuries by turning their thoughts into actions.
Little tiny
the first
ones.
FDA-approved clinical trial
Allegedly.
of BrainGate's neural interface system was launched back in 2004.
Imagine if you were an individual who could never speak to someone, and for the first time you could type "I love you" to one of your loved ones. Imagine if you couldn't walk, but you could all of a sudden use a wheelchair with nothing but your mind. Imagine if you couldn't use your arms, but for the first time using your mind, you could control a prosthetic to then eat something. Again, for the first time, it's those aha moments that surprise even me to this day.
Experts believe BCI also has the potential to transform the way humans and computers work alongside each other forever.
Companies will have access to brain data, and this is going to fuel a very lucrative new data market. Moreover, companies will be able to sell another type of device on top of smartphones, laptops, and so on.
Several companies have already moved forward with less invasive wearable versions of BCI technology, aimed at everything from improving focus to controlling prosthetic limbs, even controlling gadgets with the mind. In April, the FDA gave its first ever market authorization for wearable BCI, approving a device that helps stroke patients regain mobility in their arms. French company NextMind marketing a wearable headband, allowing this man to change the channel through sheer will alone. It currently retails for $399. Experts predict that BCI has the potential to be a $3.85 billion industry by 2027, according to Allied Market Research. But with great promise comes great concerns.
You're going to have to share your brain data with private companies. Are you willing to share your brain data only to have a better interaction with your nearby devices? This is the question.
What are the other ways it could be used that causes pause?
The peril of this technology, the risk of this technology is if we push too hard, too fast, you can use it for virtually anything. When we go beyond trying to help people who are struggling, paraplegics, quadriplegics, locked-in patients, people who can't speak, to improving people who are normally functioning, giving you a brain chip as an example. It's almost downright frightening.
In 2020, Steibel decided to donate BrainGate to Tufts University to determine how best it should be used. The university says it's in the early stages of evaluating the technology.
Explain to me the thought process in your mind for handing this over.
We always knew that this served a greater humanitarian purpose. We always said that we wanted to do the right thing here. Despite the fact that I have a background in the brain, I knew just enough to know that it was dangerous to know just enough. We needed smarter minds to be focused on this.
Daniel Dennett, one of Steibel's mentors, is an esteemed bioethicist. The newly established Tufts Consortium on Brain and Cognitive Science is partially named after him.
What we're learning is that almost any technology that utilizes remote devices like Bluetooth or Wi-Fi is hackable. And certainly if you're going to have something in your brain that is going to control a limb, whether it's your limb or a limb on a drone robot of sorts, if that's hackable, you want to guard against that, and that's going to be a big issue.
Aside from those risks, Steibel says there will always be great concerns when potentially world-changing inventions enter the fold.
Anytime a new technology comes out, whether it's TV, the printing press, the wheel, Facebook, the internet, there are always perils. Usually, when done right, there's far more good than there is bad.
Many experts believe government will need to play a key role in the future of BCI.
A lot of people are in favor of this. They think that the only way to push the humankind forward is to merge with machines. Is it something scary? Yes. Are we going to need specific regulations? Yes. Are we going to have companies trying to do things that might be illegal? Probably. That's why we need strong regulations.
I'm always cautious about attacking technology, but any new technology has perils and pitfalls. What you need are benevolent thinkers trying to determine how best to use it.
You believe this technology can do more good?
I know this technology will do more good. I'm not just an optimist. The glass isn't half full. The glass is full. It's got part water, part oxygen. We can use both of those things to do great things. When it comes to BrainGate and these brain chips, this is going to be so good for so many people.
Kaylee Hartung, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Our thanks to Kaylee for that. And still ahead here on Prime, the major Johnson & Johnson recall for sunscreen, why they pulled 5 products off the shelves. All the kids
Wow,
of those
they'll
English
pull
soccer
the
stars
Johnson & Johnson off the shelf, eh? All right, let's talk about it. RoboCop, I know. Do you remember RoboCop, Emperor Shadow?
I love RoboCop. That's one of my favorite movies.
Your move, creep.
Do you remember what happened, John?
Yeah.
He got murdered and they took his brain and his body while he was almost dying and they stuck a robot to him.
Yep.
And he had to go through like all that training to reprogram his body.
You know what? Part
That's
of
a
their plan
super
is
cop.
yeah. It makes you think though when they talk about defund police. Is that part of what you're talking about? Because you know they hide stuff in Hollywood all the time.
Yeah, they're gonna make cyborg cops to patrol these streets.
Drones and everything else. Yep. And that's crazy because that's really their state of plan.
Let's answer Bella's question, guys. What do you think of Sophia the robot? Have y'all ever seen Sophia the robot?
I'm not too versed on that subject. I've seen it briefly, but you have to tell me about what it is, Bella. What Sophia is about.
I don't know too much about Bella.
Sophia.
Isn't that robot that supposed to be a human? Lizard people.
I don't know. We're gonna look it up. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. It's coming in hot. Hers was an epic fail. Okay. Epic fail.
What happened to the stream?
We had to because of that the show.
Oh, you got us.
Yeah, it'll come back up. Give me a second. Give me a second. It'll come back.
Technology, huh?
Yep, they hit me.
Hey, Shadow.
They're giving me a warning.
You know, part of their plan is like, part of the depopulation plan is you don't need a human girlfriend or human wife. We'll give you robots, sex bots.
Exactly. Well, they're gonna make them so real. Well, they're gonna have pubic hair, big ass boobs, big lips, everything. A big booty. They're gonna make it real, bro. But it's a robot.
Do you hear the nerves? She makes me a sandwich whenever I ask her. No, your girlfriend's a robot. Sorry, bro. Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, it brought me down because of that. It's saying for policy violations. So again, it usually takes a minute for it. If not, then I'm gonna have to see if I can jump streams. But they're still out in the chat. Yeah, they're still out there in the chat room. So we just have to keep refreshing it and see because it was suspended. So they suspended me.
For showing that?
Yep. Usually I jump streams, but I watched somebody one time that if you take it off, they'll usually bring you back.
Yeah.
But it's saying stream was suspended. So it says you can't, Jack's saying you can't play NBC and all that for that long. Yeah, there we are. We're back. Welcome back.
And
Welcome back. Welcome
back.
Told you I know how to
Can't
float
keep us
this
down.
motherfucker.
Can't keep us down forever.
Nope, told you. I know how to fly this motherfucker. I'm getting an echo to.
So what does that count as? Like a strike or something or nothing?
Well, I'm gonna have to cut the stream. Like right there
Okay,
where I was
gotcha.
playing that robotic shit. I gotta take that out.
Gotcha.
So like I'll put it on private once I get off of here and then I'll cut it and then I'll go back. So if everybody's there, everybody's back. Welcome chat. Welcome chat. Do apologize.
They don't play any games.
They don't play no games out here in these YouTube streets. Thanks, Jack, for the info. Appreciate it. Jack gave us a link. So let's see.
You know what?
here.
You know what's
Go ahead.
crazy about it? When you play the news, they didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, he said I
That's
can't
what's
play it
crazy
for that
about it.
long. That's why I don't never like to play it longer than like 15, 20 minutes. And usually
Yeah,
I don't
gotcha.
get hit. But since I
Oh, so
played
you-
it longer, yeah, once I played it longer, that's when I was taking a risk. So that's why I got to go back and cut the Jimmy Fallon part out. Because that part wasn't like, that's the part. They don't want you he's not getting nothing for that. So if he's not getting nothing for it, then they're going to shut the stream down. And they're already watching me because I already got a tag on me out there. If you look out in the YouTube world, it says the Coco tags on me. So that means they're already out there, like Nightbot's cousins are out here waiting for me. They're just sitting here looking at us in the bushes. As soon as I did that, they were like, boop, boop, hit the button on her.
Damn.
That's why you can't afford to get triggered, because if you stay calm, take that shit off your screen, and then you see how they brought me back up.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yep. I know how to float this matrix ship, darling. That is one thing I know how to do. That's what I'm saying. We're in the matrix.
That's why, like, low key. That's why low key. I'm like watching you and Shadow what y'all do, so I can learn that stuff myself.
I appreciate that.
Should I ever decide to like start a channel, which I probably will more than likely.
Yep.
I can learn. I can just learn that stuff from you and Shadow because you already know what y'all are doing.
He'll be right there with you the first day you go live. So
when it comes to this stuff.
And we'll be promoting your channel. So whenever you're ready, honey. And I got a surprise for you. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, Shadow's ready for you. He wants you to be a soldier in training. And again, you know what we're doing. We already got battle stations. So people that are too weak to fight are going to have to go sit down. But we're going to fight. We're going to keep fighting. And we're going to keep waking them up. We're going to keep on fucking with them. Because at the end of the day, they're going to turn on us anyway. So if you can't save your loved ones, you can't save the ones you love, then know that there's a real war between us then. You better show them love and kindness now before you lose them. Because they won't come back.
Our future will be demolition, man, Bella. You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
Bella's on that shit. Bella
That's crazy.
That's that real shit, Bella, tell you.
Hollywood got a way of predicting stuff, but it's not really predicting. Sometimes the one of the alphabet agencies. See, I did good. I did good. One of the alphabet agencies. I use the code word, Janet the Shadow. Sometimes they give the scripts to these Hollywood production companies.
Right.
And tell them what to say.
What I found in face masks are these Margolins. What's that? Margellons. I don't know what that means. Let's take a look at this. Jack gave us this. That's what's in the mask. That doesn't look too yummy.
It doesn't.
That doesn't look too yummy.
That would explain a lot.
Emperor Shadow.
That would explain a lot.
Look carefully at the black lines. They move on their own. What? There's something in the mask? Look at the black thing. It's moving. Emperor Shadow. Sir?
Yeah, I see this shit. That's creepy.
Oh, it's in the mask.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Did you just make a creepy sound and scare me? Is somebody here? Is somebody watching us? Oh my God. I'm scared. Oh my God, it's moving. Oh my God, I'm echoing. He pulls it out with tweezers.
That's crazy.
Now think back to Fallon and the snake bot. Oh,
so like nanobots?
Oh my God.
So sort of like nanobots, Jack?
Oh my. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. Oh no, Stephanie, you have to understand what's going on. I know it hurts, Steph. Hold my hand. Carbon, what does that say? Not 2. Oh my God, it's moving. It's moving. What the fuck is that? It's a nose mask.
It's crazy.
You can find these in any sterile face mask. Oh my God. Oh my God, no wonder my cousins always sleep. They're going up her nose.
That's like alien.
That's crazy.
In today's video, I'm going to show you what the face mask look like under the microscope. First, I'm going to look the outside part and then the inside part. All right, this is the outer part. These are the words here, BYD. And here it says electronics. Look at that. Look, there's a bunch of squares here. And this is the groove right here. And this is actually a brand new mask, but look at this. It's already dirty, even though it's the outer part of the mask, but still, look at that. You know, some yellowish color here.
Yeah, that's too much for me right now. I know I'm ready, sir, but I ain't that ready.
Yeah.
Told you those masks were bad, sir.
Yeah.
Let's argue. Come on.
Probably made in China. It wouldn't surprise me, made in China.
Well, because Mr. Unknown believes in them, and I really kind of do too. But then, you know, like you have to question. You do. You have to question. Like, you know, I mean, I'm wearing it. Go ahead.
They don't work. They don't work at all. You got to think about, we breathe out our CO2, right? Carbon dioxide, breathe that out. And if you look at it, like some guy did an OSHA test. We had the mask on for like a couple minutes. And within a couple minutes, he had the OSHA test. And within a couple minutes, he was already breathing in. He was already breathing in like unhealthy amounts, like above the OSHA standards for carbon dioxide.
Yeah, that's true.
This man invented PCR and how it is not
Kerry
capable
Mullins.
of viral testing.
Kerry Mullins, yeah.
Are we going to get in trouble, John?
I don't know. I know it's been
How
banned
do they
a couple places.
misuse
Oh, my God.
PCR?
But he
to
said it's not designed to.
all these supposed free viral RNAs that may or may not be there.
It's not designed to
If they
detect
wanted-
COVID, he says.
If they could find this virus in
Wait,
you
John.
at all, and with
Please.
PCR, if you do it well, you can find almost anything in anybody. It allows you to take a very minuscule amount of anything and make it measurable, and then talk about it in meetings and stuff like it is important. See, that's not a misuse. That's just sort of a misinterpretation. It's just a process that's used to make a whole lot of something out of something. That's what Also, it is. But it's not. It doesn't tell you that you're sick, and it doesn't tell you that the thing you ended up with really was going to hurt you or anything like that. When I was in graduate school, Joe Nealons called me one day and he said something like, "If you'll stop talking to the press about all kinds of issues and stuff." And so I was starting to talk about AIDS a lot of times because they were using PCR to detect the HIV molecule, and I was going to a lot of those meetings, and I was thinking these guys are on the wrong track, and they're not looking. They've got blinders on it in a sense.
I'm getting scared, John. I'm getting scared.
Yeah, it was about to go deep.
Yeah, I'm getting scared.
Well, he pretty much says that they're not designed to detect diseases, pretty much, in his own exact words. The PCR test is what they're using for the cocoa.
Okay.
And what they do is, if they want to find something, they'll raise the cycles. They don't want to find something, they'll lower the cycles. Like what they're doing now in the vax and the non-vax, For the vax, they raised the cycles to around 47, and for the non-vax, they lowered down to about 25. If they went up 25.
Okay.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, well, my heart started jumping. Thank you, Jack, for that again. Shout out
Yes,
to
thanks,
Jack.
Jack.
We're
Jack
not
got
even mad
knowledge.
at that. Yeah, you do.
Jack got knowledge.
We like him.
He even put the specific amount of ppm CO2 in 60 seconds up.
Yeah. Well, you know, Johnny, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I definitely will protect people that want to talk about it. But we got to protect each other. Because
you know what?
they're
That is
already
right.
going to be looking at me now.
That is right, Jack. I didn't forget about that. He did this one at the end.
Uh-huh. And that's where they're going to get us.
Kerry Mullins, that's the guy I mentioned when I was talking to what's her name, Bella. That's Kerry Mullins, the PCR test. And what's interesting about that is George S. rhymes with Zorro, and Billy G. They actually bought one of the testing companies because people figured it out that, wait a minute, these tests are fraudulent. So come December 21st of this year, they're going to stop using them. But in the meanwhile, they're using them right now to prop the numbers up. Isn't that crazy?
Definitely.
That's our goal for us. That's our goal.
Yeah.
That's what I mean about. That's what
we
Shadow
gotta get prepared. You know, we gotta get our guns ready, man. You got some guns, John?
Yes, sir. I gotta.
All right, man. We gotta get Janet some guns, man.
Yeah.
You know, spend that money on something that's gonna benefit you.
Hey, you talk about
I'm
my
just saying,
marijuana?
you gotta get you some guns for protection. Gotta be
So,
prepared.
don't buy the weed, buy the guns. Damn it.
You damn right.
Why can't we
Buy
make
the
love
gun.
and not war? Why can't I have a man that'll come and help me and he can just shoot for me and I'll
about it.
reload it for him?
You'll have weed, and the people rob you for your weed because they have what?
Guns. Damn it.
You can go buy you a little cheap
Stephanie said
22
she got
that'll fit in your
hers.
purse.
Go ahead, Stephanie. You got yours, girl.
You
I
know
gotta
what?
get mine.
Me too, Jack. Every day I'm learning something new. Every day, I know what you mean.
I think we all are, you know.
I knew it was fake the moment it came out.
Oh, I knew something was
I
wrong
knew-
when that lady
'cause
passed out. The Tiffany lady, when she passed out, that's when Father woke
Yeah.
me up. That's when because I was like, should we take it? I was asking the universe, like, should I take it, Father? Should I do what they're telling me to do? And I swear to you, all of a sudden the TV came on, you know, like on the show, on the NBC breaking news, and she's
Yeah.
up there taking it, and she takes it within 17 minutes. She is like, boom, and she hit the floor, and my freaking heart just stopped. Like, I literally was like,
remember
holy shit, what happened? I'm like, oh, hell no, we won't go. Shout out to Tiffany D. Girl, I don't know where you at, girl, but trust and believe you will always be my Joan of Arc of why I have to fight, because you will never stick it in me. And if I can save any child, because the adults, hey, we're just out, okay? Unless you can make more babies, we need to save the children. But if you
Empress
get that,
J,
sir,
you need to call around to some gun shops real soon. All right? Because when we
need
go back
somebody
on
to
this
donate me
lockdown,
one.
they trying to take the guns away and the bullets away. That's what they're trying to do right now.
no, I'm gonna
You need to
you
call
guys
around
to give me one.
and try to find a gun shop, right? You can get a gun for $200, a little 22, a little pink one, and put in your purse.
I never wanted one. I never wanted one.
It's survival of the fittest. You got to get one. You got to think if people, everything breaks down. People know you have food. They're coming to your house.
Yep.
Everybody party at Janet's. Woohoo!
You know what,
They're
John?
gonna kick
You
down
just
the
love
door. They're gonna say,
bullshit.
"Hey, Jay, we're here for the food and the Kool-Aid, girl."
I don't have Kool-Aid though.
Oh, you ain't got no Kool-Aid? Well, we're gonna take your beer and your Hennessy, whatever you got.
They can have it. I'll share. I'll give you a room. You'll be safe. It'll be okay.
It's
You
gonna be
don't
about
have to
100 of them
steal.
coming to the house.
That's right, Jack. That's what I've been doing. I've been downloading stuff just to keep it on record. Because you never know. Because they got to, you know, they have an internet kill switch. They could just turn everything off at any minute they wanted to, right?
They are going to turn it off on us. That's why we have to gather.
That came
People
about
are
under
not
Obama.
listening, but we have to gather because they are going to turn off the internet. They're going to turn off the lights and the gas and everything. Everything's about to go bite night night. And then you're going to be in fucking I Am Legend.
The only way is to turn to God and people to look at the facts and truth. That's the only way. Because the facts and truth would stop them dead in their tracks.
Just look at the universe. God is a universal word, but you look at the universe. If you pray to something, ask what you're, what you're praying to. Is this right? You should have prayed about it before you take it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Even my mama be like, pray about it before you do it. Like, why don't you pray about it before you take it? Because it just does not seem right. It seems like something's wrong. And there's too much anger. And people got like parasites on their brain. And they're just like snapping out. And they're just going like Loco, 0 to 100, like real quick. They can't even think logically. They can't even think why they're logically getting mad. They're just getting mad like zombie babies.
Yeah. That could, you know what? Now that you say that, because I know it grows prions on your brain. That could be why the crime rate, part of the reason, or at least a small part why the crime rate is what it is.
Because they triggered something in their brains to make them angry and fighting all the time. That's why they're mad that I like peace.
Yeah.
It is mind control. It's a freaking, something's in them. Those micro things are real small. They can put microchips in water. They can put it everywhere. They can put it in your food. Them parasites could have the chips in them, and they're in your brain, eating your brain, telling you to kill, seek, destroy, kill, get angry, hate her, hate him, hate the blacks, hate the white. That seems like a program.
It's always about hate. It is a program. United we stand, divided we fall. Think about that. United we stand, divided we fall. They know that. That's why they invest billions and billions of dollars and have these different organizations and institutes to keep us divided.
Unbelievable. Stephanie said you have to supply your house full. I really have to get a gun. I do. I have to get a gun. I know.
Unless you plan on hitting them over the head with a weed bomb.
Well, I have a machete. But I guess that's not going to beat a gun.
Never bring a knife to a gunfight. Remember that old saying?
Yeah, that's true, John. That's true. That's true. Uh-oh, we got a report. We got a report. Wow, he reminds me of a mini you when you first came to me. And you was like, oh, I can chat in Empress Janet's chat room and she's not going to block me. He just went crazy.
I know, right? I like Jack, though. He's spending that knowledge. I like Jack.
Well, don't say the name, John. Don't say the name.
Coco?
Just take a look. No, the Wanaki. Don't say this name right here, up here on the screen, sir.
That's what they did. Remember Bat Lady? Bat Lady bragged about it in interviews.
Emperor Shadow, have you ever seen this before, this report? I rolled me a joint, John. Don't tell the boss. I'm smoking on the job. Emperor.
I'm right here. No, I never heard about that.
About this. He said go
I heard
further
about the
down.
Wuhan, but the other stuff.
Wait,
no.
we can't say that name though.
Oh wow. Well.
Yeah.
Wuhan.
The Wuhan.
It'll just be the Resident Evil lab.
All right, Resident Evil lab. All right, so where are we going? How far does he want us to go down? I don't understand any of this shit.
And the bat that they talk about is located 1,000 miles from the Resident Evil lab, so there's no way that naturally.
Oh my God, I don't know all these codes. Are there words in these words right here? This looks like a code. This looks like how we're gonna have to be talking one day. We're gonna have to learn it, guys.
It look like Nightbot's homework.
Nightbot's homework. Hey. Yeah, I don't know, but there's a lot of words in here that I would feel suspectable, you know? This shit. What did he say? I can't even see you out there anymore. What did he say? He just said go down further. if you want, I can hop on the panel. Of
Yeah, that'd
course,
be
you
cool.
can hop on the panel.
Most definitely.
You're more than
Yeah,
welcome to use your voice.
knowledge would be very appreciated.
I mean, we're just trying to understand. You're a king. You're allowed to be up here with the rest of the kings. I just don't understand. But see, this is where, like when you don't understand, people get mad and they like get all defensive and stuff. But I feel like this is where, like, if he wants to come and explain, just let him talk, guys. I know we kind of, need a rubber band.
Yeah.
But I just kind of want him to say what he got to say because I don't know nothing. So, and even if we do know, just let him say what he got
No, I
to
want
say.
I want him to speak because it sounds better when more than one person saying it, though. Because I know he's going to say some of the same things I didn't say. He's going to say some things I did say. You know what I mean? And it sounds better when you hear more than one person
This
saying
is crazy. I don't know what this shit is.
because we never met each other. We don't know each other. But meanwhile, we got different sources and different ways we came about our information. But we're saying the same
That's
stuff.
why all voices matter.
Exactly. So please, come to the panel.
We have to learn from each other.
Exactly. I learn from you. I learn from Shadow. I learn from whoever has knowledge. Because I don't know everything. I always gotta, especially they say you should know. They should know thy enemy. You should want to know everything you can about your enemy as possible.
Definitely. It seems
that could be
like
the
Jack
difference.
knows a lot. That's
That
the
could be the
crazy
difference
thing
in
is,
life and death.
you know how many of these people out here that know, and this is what I'm saying, their voices don't get heard because people won't allow them to speak.
Exactly. Or they talked bad about him or something. Or
Well, I think Jack
like if Shadow
comes
talks about
from
this,
a community.
if Shadow
I
talks
don't
about
know.
this, they'll call him the brainwashed one, even though he's talking
Well-
truth and facts. They'll call Shadow brainwashed just because.
No worries. Take your time, my friend. Well, that's the thing. Shadow does talk about these things. Mr. Unknown.
Yeah, he does.
He's a conspiracy
but
guru.
the brainwash will call him the brainwashed one. That's the crazy part about it, though.
And
Me,
they'll
you,
try to make
me, you
him
and
like
Shadow,
he doesn't
me, you and
know.
Shadow are brainwashed. We don't know what we're talking about.
But I know I ain't brainwashed because I don't let nobody think for me.
And it's not
Everybody that
really-
uses that saying, don't let them rent space in your mind, that comes from me.
Yeah.
Because I don't let people rent space in my mind. I either ask the horse or I mind my fucking business. And when I'm nosy, I don't assume anything. I'm just being nosy. Shit, there's a difference to shit. People need to learn the difference to stuff.
Yep. And like Shadow said, it's right in the open. Right in the open.
Right in the open. And they can't see it. And then they don't even understand. We're like, man.
And it's not really to
Right
pick
in
on
the
people.
open.
Exactly.
If you
It's not
refuse
even
to see it, then you're a dummy. I'm sorry to call you a dummy, but that's what you are.
Yeah. You can't call it science if you only looked at one side of it. That's propaganda, not science.
I just want to know why people aren't looking at it, why people aren't questioning it, why people are just willing to take it, because I know somebody that was forced to take it. So
That's
they
sad.
had to take it because they were forced to take it in a situation. So that's not
That's
fair to
sad.
that person.
That
So
is
that's what I
sad.
said. I don't hate you because you're taking it, but I'm asking you, why are you getting mad that I'm not taking it? That's all I'm saying. I'm not mad you took it. Good luck in your endeavors. But why are you going to get mad and judge me for not taking it? You can't. And I'm not going to let you. I don't care who you are. You're not the judge of me. I don't gotta follow your rules. I ain't never followed the rules. I'm always been a rule breaker. So if I can break rules like drive in the middle of the road instead of use the lines all the time, that's a rule breaker. If you're supposed to be walking on the sidewalk, but you're walking in the street, that's a rule breaker. So yeah, sometimes we gotta break the rules, okay? So what rule is you willing to go down? What rabbit hole is you really ready to go down?
True. If the road's
I'm
not
not ready to take that shit. I'm sorry. I'm not ready. I'm not ready this now, tomorrow, next year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm not ready, bro. You know what, Sam? You get to do another timeout just because we don't like your little avatar. How about that? Sam doesn't know how to act. I'm not scared to be around sick people. I'm not scared to be around sick people either. I ain't never been around a person that was sick and then be like, oh, I can't be around you because you're sick. I helped them out. Okay, guys, we've got a guest. Welcome, welcome. Hello.
Hello there. What up?
Hey, what up?
How you doing? Nice having you.
I'm not bad. I was just gonna jump right into it. My phones are low on juice, and it took forever to boot this phone up because I have a million cracked apps.
No worries. Go ahead. You can move fast. Good night,
But
Stephanie.
I'm
Go
that
ahead.
guy who will literally remove like stuff. I took mappings of SARS-CoV-2, and the official name or whatever. Now, further. I was just waiting to see it on the screen if it scrolls.
Can you scroll down a little bit, Janet?
Yeah. Scroll her down. Keep going. All right, so what we're gonna look for is the amino acids, which are what RNA and DNA are made of. Keep going, it's past this part. Now, amino acids, they're the same for, aminos. And there's one different in RNA, but it's unimportant at this point. But keep scrolling, keep going. Further down. It'll be like this stuff right here. All right, each one of those letters represents an amino acid. Now, C and G will always be next to each other, and T and A will always be next to each other because they're the two that bind with each other, and it can be TA or AT or CG or GC. But these are the little things that when you look at a double helix of DNA, those are the little things connecting those two lines. Are these amino acids, and they form proteins. And all a virus is genetic information in a fatty lipid like vessel. Now, just kind of take a look at the start. See how it's like C, G, G, T, all that happy crappy, right? Now, I sent 3 links initially, one to each version. And this whole thing is supposedly the genetic mapping of the viral RNA. And each sample is going to have, slight variances because the technology, A, isn't perfect, and B, it could be, what they would call mutations or improper binding to, the cellular DNA, like the improper mitosis or whatever. But the point is that each one of these samples should be clearly identifiable as the same thing. Like there would be very little variance. They talk about the Delta variant is like 1/5 of 1% different than the original COVID. But if you go to the second one, it'll look very similar. Like you can like hop back and forth between them and compare them. But if you go to the third one, it is a completely different genetic structure. And they expect us to believe that these samples are the basis of our entire knowledge of COVID. Or COO. I don't know what the code word is for it.
Coco.
Yeah, Coco.
Coco. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
You get the cocoa in your nose and you start feeling funny.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to that third one and compare them right out the gates, these are 2 completely different genetic structures, not even remotely similar. version 1 and 2, very similar. Version 3 does not fit. And it's kind of like those old pictures of you know, and supposedly this is what all of our basis of knowledge of this disease stems from, are these Chinese cultures and genetic mappings, which the Chinese version of Dr. Fauci for their branch of the CDC openly claims that they never isolated the virus. So none of these can exist.
Wow, I'm looking at all three of them that you sent me. I'm going to share these.
But
Yeah, we're getting botted though.
when you get to
Nightbot's
that,
cousins are here.
Yeah, he's breaking up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be
and
quiet
that's
for a
all I
second.
wanted to do was like just kind of tell you what all I want to do was just kind of tell you what was going on with these things. Like there's plenty
Yeah,
of
we
other stuff in these
appreciate you.
reports that don't add up. But my point for sending them was to show that this thing that we base all our knowledge on with tests that are not FDA approved for testing it,
Exactly.
that have no testing capacity, that have no source contagion identification capacity, no capability to do anything except make little copies of dead nucleotides out of what a primer sequence demands. So you could invent anything. You could set a priming sequence to want CG, GG, TTA, and it will find it, god damn it. Because we share
I see what you're
60% of the
saying, yeah.
genes. Like think about a fruit fly. Do we look like fruit flies?
I got a question.
60% of their genes are present in us.
Wait, John.
So you tell me
Okay.
on Maury Povich when a fly has to pay child support.
So it's like they made the sequence up just for the PCR testing. Is that that's what you're saying?
Well, for the primer, because the primer is what they're trying to find. The problem is because the more cycles you run, you break down this biological material.
Yeah, you'll find
It
something.
basically becomes nucleotide Legos because
find
there's
something
4 aminos
regardless, yeah.
that it has to have, and it's going to pull this one and this one and this one and make copies and just leave a soup of dead nucleotides around it. And the purpose of PCR is to be able to test protein bonds, to kind of understand them on a level that's large enough that we can actually measure them better. Has nothing to do with diagnosing illness or figuring out source contagion or if something is a contagion. It has no capacity for that whatsoever. It's literally genetic Legos. And that is what the entire narrative of COVID is based on. So when people are like, it's the lab leak, and I'm like, no. The lab leak is just more narrative to keep you believing in this.
Right. You're
Like,
amazing.
this thing does not exist. This thing does not exist. You
I
are
knew
locked down, not for a virus.
Right.
You are the virus being
Yeah,
locked
we are the
down.
virus.
Right.
Exactly. I totally
To
agree
them.
with that, man.
But I would have to say I think it does.
And
Damn, my Nightbot's
Wait.
cousins.
I know. Nightbot's cousins
go
are
ahead.
here.
I just didn't want my phone
No,
to
what's
die.
happening, darling, is that you're speaking the truth and you're getting botted. So we can't hear you. Your mic's going in and out. So I just like to change the
Really?
topic. You can introduce yourself. You can say some quirky things, and then we go right back to it because we got to fly under the radar because they're here. They
Let me say
know.
one thing real quick.
Yeah, go
If
ahead,
you don't
darling.
mind. If you don't mind. I would say it does exist for the simple fact that the guy who discovered HIV looked at it under a microscope and he said it was spliced together from 5 different viruses. But that would make sense. But you're saying like they gave us like a completely different sequence. Then a thought came to my head, but you're saying that. What if they're using the PCR test to strengthen it to check the effects on us? Because they know they don't work. What if that was the real reason they're using it? Because they're already working on new stuff. They never stop.
I think the
Get a
PCR test is the lock and key to their control over us because it's the source of all of our.
But what if it has something else?
Under
There
these
you go again.
lockdowns, but then once we're there, it wants to.
Yeah.
Is it doing it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it wants to use these tests to basically say, "Oh, you have this," and
Right.
they literally did.
Yeah.
They did tests in like I think it was Tanzania, where
Tanzania, the pawpaw fruit and the goat, and they came back positive.
was like, and they all came back positive.
Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
died, and now suddenly
Yeah.
they have a new president, and they're rolling out their vaccine plans.
Right. There we go.
And
That
so,
part.
Same with Haiti. Haiti did the same thing.
you know, it's
Haiti
kind of
didn't
like
want
what the financial institutions viewed with Gaddafi, where it's like, oh, whoa, you want to back money in gold from a continent with more gold than all the others? No. You're getting stabbed on a Jeep.
Hey, what I was saying earlier, because I know like the tests are rigged and stuff, but it just gave me a thought though. Like I think they're using the test for other purposes. Like they're not throwing away the data. They're using it to perfect it to
It's
further.
not a test.
No, I mean
It's
no, not the
it's
test.
a mind
I'm just
control.
No, I'm calling. I know it's not a test. I know it's not real. I know it's all fake. But I'm saying they're using that. They're using the. Let me change the word. They're using the evidence, or they're using like the data that they take to perfect.
They're fabricating evidence.
To perfect
and data.
no, to perfect their next bioweapon. Because we know the numbers are lie. We know that.
Well,
not
here's
that many
something.
people died.
You're actually probably onto something. No, you're onto something. Let
Just thought
me
about
just throw
that.
this one thing out before my phone dies.
Okay.
Now, have you heard about how the magic potion has no actual live virus in it? Like, there's no way you can catch the
Right.
disease from because it's not manufactured with the disease. It's manufactured with a synthetic spike protein.
Yeah, spike protein.
That is
yeah.
similar. Now, here's the thing: that spike protein was developed by an algorithm, which means you are literally putting into your body a computer simulated protein.
That's the same
Oh my
protein that's in
God.
your.
I keep
That's the
telling
same
people
protein
they're in a
that's in your brain.
simulation.
So you're probably right when you're saying they're probably trying to figure out
I'm
ways
in
to
love
make
with
it
him.
like more effective.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Yes.
probably
Smart
right
guy.
because they're using
Yes, sir. He is.
PCR
He's a king.
primers to develop these artificial synthetic spike proteins, which they're now
Right.
putting
Yeah.
into people, you know, using a non-approved testing method to put in an
Yep.
unapproved and magic potion to
Preying on our
convince
fear
you
and
of
our
an
guilt and our
unproven disease
families.
that has a 0.001% lethality rate. And with
Right.
how
Yeah,
many
that's
people
literally it.
who
Yeah.
were car accidents
Jack, can
and
I ask you a question real
suicides.
quick, buddy?
Yeah, what's up?
What about the people a couple months ago that was catching HIV from the jab?
You know,
Do the jab have HIV
that
virus
slid
in
under
it?
my radar. That slid under my
Yeah.
radar.
I
I
know
have
what you're talking
nothing. I
about.
have
I know
no
what
way to
you're-
speak on that.
I know what you're
Okay.
talking about.
Appreciate
What
that.
happened? That was in Australia, where they were giving them.
You
Where they
also
were
got to
testing.
realize, though, that
They're testing.
not Fauci, Mullis
They're-
claims that it's not that HIV isn't a cause of AIDS. Like it's not a disease. It's just a
Yeah.
retrovirus. We have 10,000 different ones that they don't focus on in our bodies.
Okay.
And so when they're saying that these people were catching HIV or AIDS from the jab,
Yeah.
I think it may be that kind of that COINTELPRO where it's like you have to control the opposition, so you have to create the opposition if there's not enough of the opposition.
True.
And it could be used to create more hesitancy so they have a reason to be more draconian in their come down.
Exactly.
Because if you don't have an opposition, you have nothing to fight as an opposition.
Sure.
And so then you would have to come down on them hard. Well, if there's no one to come down on, you have no reason to. So you have to have a
You're right, Bella.
justification to come down. So whether these people caught the HIV from it, I don't know. I haven't heard about it. I will look into it.
I
Okay.
know what it is.
But-
I know what it is.
But
You remember back in
there's a
Australia?
lot of evidence that HIV may not even exist either. And that's from the
No,
guy
Dr.
who
Doom, you
developed
never
the
know.
test.
He was the same one behind that. But you know
Yeah,
what
well,
it is?
Bella
I'm
said
not claiming.
something
I'm not
in the
even claiming
chat.
to know that.
I know.
Sorry.
Allegedly, guys.
Allegedly, yeah.
Bella said that Alex Belfield just uploaded another video. 32M booster September government hire door knocker. Magic potion operatives army knocking on Australia's doors.
I've
I wanna
heard
answer
about
They're
Shadow's-
knocking on
like
the
this
doors. What did I tell you, sir? I had the dream that they're coming.
Well, this is coming to America.
Let me answer your
Think
question,
about
Shadow.
it. They wouldn't have
Wait.
a reason to come to the door if there wasn't the hesitancy. And if you need enough hesitancy to get the army at their door,
They go to
you have to
robots.
manufacture extra hesitancy. And I
Yeah.
think that maybe with the people catching other diseases.
Let me
from
answer
it
your question, Shadow. What you said about HIV. You remember back
Yeah.
last year when they first started testing it, how they said some people in Australia, I'm not gonna say which vax it was, but they said what to say.
Yeah,
You know what I said?
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Arizona, AZ.
Yeah. But
AZ,
that
good
was-
one.
like what Bella said, that was giving them false positives in the tests.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
right now, it's giving them like they're getting tumors or mammograms are coming back for everything else. See, what happens is it lowered your immune system. Like one of the guys who's actually in on the sick game, he admitted, because they're criminals, I like to tell them so. He admitted that it gives you 1/6 of the immune system that you normally have. See, what HIV you got to think about is a breakdown in the immune system, or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. Like Jack said, it could be 1,000 different diseases. So when
Wow.
you get them tests, when you get them HIV tests from the jab, like with spike proteins, that's what it's doing. The spike proteins go through your body, change your cells, and they weaken your immune system. They replace it with the spike protein.
Last thing, just because my phone is dying and I hate to cut
Yes,
you
sir. No, you're amazing, King. Go ahead.
off. I just wanted to, clarify what the nonsense I was posting in there was about, just because it took me, a while like digging through that, thing to even like grasp it. And there's way more to it that I could go into. If you ever wanted to re-explore it again, I would
Yes,
be
please.
fine with it.
Yes, please.
All I gotta say is that AZT was originally a cancer treatment, and it kept killing cancer patients. So I guess you could say it cured cancer, but they couldn't get it approved because it was too lethal for cancer patients. And if you remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, all the crack babies and the people, in the gay community, and they're getting AIDS from blood transfusions and needles and crazy
Oh, I never
orgies.
thought about that. You're right.
They
Yeah.
all were dying. They were sickly and thin and literally wasting away over the course of a couple years. And now you have fucking Magic Johnson, who's probably healthier than all of us. And he's had that shit since the 90s. He got that shit like the same time Eazy-E did. Eazy-E dead, Magic Johnson's still here. So my question is, was AZT, which had all the same side effects of those early HIV/AIDS deaths, was that what was actually killing them?
Wow.
Because the guy who
Bella said
developed the
32
PCR
million
test
people
says it's not a
with
test
their booster.
and did not believe HIV was the cause of AIDS.
I know.
So you telling me that Magic Johnson's alive to this day with HIV and they
Right.
can't detect it in his system,
Right.
All of a sudden,
but
yeah.
everyone else
Yeah.
was dying in 18 months from symptoms just like this drug that they got approved to treat it.
Well, they said they gave him the cure.
And what's crazy about that is back in like 81, it was the same Dr. Doom. That's what I call him. It was the same one with his doom and gloom, his graphs and his charts and everything else, getting on TV. This many people are going to die and everything else. The same so-called doctor. That's what's crazy about it when you say that. Though. So yeah, I believe it. Because he was the same one behind that too.
So
this ain't his first rodeo.
Now notice we have another treatment developed from cancer research, which is mRNA. It was designed to go in and destroy cancer cells by latching onto them and reprogramming them to destruct. And now you have these synthetic proteins that are traveling all through your body.
Creating prions.
They're creating an artificial immune response. So your immune system is constantly under attack, but it's attacking itself.
Right.
Attacking your body. Yeah.
Right. Because Father told me
So
to build
maybe
up
that's
my
why
immune
they're
system.
saying they got injected with AIDS, because they're injected with something destroying their immune
Destroying
system.
their immune system. Yup. Good shit.
Yeah.
I like
But I
you.
gotta
Makes
hop off
sense.
because my
Okay.
battery plugged
Yes.
in. It still drains. I'm gonna
Come
be in the
again
chat,
anytime.
and I'm gonna drop one more video link of Fauci admitting that PCR is useless.
We call him Dr. Doom.
And
Dr. Doom.
All right, peace and
I
blessings.
call him fraud. I call him IC fraud because Dr. Fauci, if you rearrange it, spells IC fraud.
I like
Okay,
that.
I like that. I know that's right. Gotta
All right.
drop the mic.
Good job.
Hey,
Peace.
thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
no problem.
That was great. Great
I
information.
know, John, you like him. Hey,
Yeah, great information. Yeah, I like that. I learned so many
I
things.
know you like that, boy.
That gave me like more insight. They gave me more insight into what they're doing. 'Cause
I
now I'm starting
know
to
the
see, like,
light bulb went on.
Yeah, now I'm
Somebody
starting to
made
see the full
John's
picture.
light bulb go on.
Man, these tests. I thought they were just. I was thinking like they were just using these tests just to trick people. Well, these
Okay.
fake. They're not even tests though. But now I'm thinking
Well, I
about.
told you the
looking at
story about
evidence.
my
Yeah.
friend that didn't even go, and her test came out positive. So
I heard about. I know someone like that. Yeah, they changed their mind, just signed the name on the paper, and the next thing you know, Shadow.
I know it does create stream. I know Shadow. We're gonna end the show. Shadow.
Did it kick him out again?
Yeah, probably because he went real fast. But I wanted him to be here so we could end the show. Because we're gonna wrap it up though, because it's going on 3 hours. I appreciate everybody that gave knowledge and information.
Yeah, thank
in
you,
the chat
Jack.
room on the panel. Thank you, Jack. That
Always
was a
great
special
being with-
guest there.
Always great being with Janet and Shadow.
Yes, I love me.
Yeah, yeah. When Shadow and Jack said that, I just started thinking like, man, that's crazy. We need to start thinking more about it, man.
And now
it's
we
just-
need Jack to go over to Emperor
I got chills when he
Shadow
started
to
speaking. Yeah,
y'all can have a discussion with him about more stuff. 'cause
yeah, yeah.
We love going down rabbit holes.
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am. I'm so used to Shadow being up here.
I know, right?
Shadow's
All right,
awesome.
so let's check out this goof troop. Janet, send me a care package. I'm going at the crackers front lines. Oh my God.
Where's that at?
That is Rev in the chat room. Shout out to the last caller, right, Anthony?
Send me a wow.
I like that because we're gonna have us a podcast, Anthony. We're gonna have people calling in, all types of stuff. We're gonna get the scoopity scoop.
You're right, Bella. The whole Britney thing, I haven't really looked into it. I have like bits and pieces, but I would definitely want to look more into that because you got to think about it. If they can do it to Britney, they can do it to us all. So that's definitely something worth checking out. It don't matter if she's a celebrity or not, but that's our rights. If they do it to her, they can do it to us too.
Yeah, Bella, if you look at my channel, like and subscribe, please hit the like and the bell icon so you know when I go live. Yeah, I did a story on Free Britney because Britney's mind controlled. There's a mind control going on over there. Welcome back. I love you, sir.
Jack was an awesome guy. I appreciate him coming on the panel and
Yes, he was.
spitting his
Good
knowledge.
job.
You know what I mean? We need more people like that.
Yes, yes.
He got one more link to share. Do we got time, sir?
One more link, and I gotta get ready for bed. I got something to do in the morning.
Yes, dear. We were gonna end the show.
I
But
agree,
we were
Bella.
waiting for
I
you
agree.
to come back.
Hope she gets her life back. Exactly.
Yeah, I hope she does. I do too. Free
But if they can
Britney.
do it to Brittany, they can do it to all of us. So that's why
They
we should care,
will.
whether she's a celebrity or
Well,
not.
Britney Spears been a robot from like day one. She been controlled. She had that, malfunction. Remember that? When she cut all her hair off and went crazy. She was trained in and brainwashed to do that.
And once you try to break free of that, they don't want that. They don't want
Nah.
any. You try to break
I
free.
wouldn't put it past if something happened to her. I hope not, but she's coming out exposing all these people, and you know what happens? She's gonna end up like Michael Jackson or Prince.
I know, right?
Yep.
You know what the sick part about it is? Her dad is allowing it.
Exactly.
That's the sick part
He's a
about it.
gatekeeper.
Good job, Dad. Good job.
I know, right? Good job. The gatekeeper, right, sir? All right.
Exactly.
I think this is gonna be the last one here. I don't really like this guy. I don't like this guy.
Empress Janet, you had an awesome live tonight.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah,
love.
it's pretty good.
You're welcome.
That's 2 awesome shows. Shadow Show and Janet. 2 awesome shows.
I appreciate that, John.
I was
Not a
about
problem.
to say that, John. Aw, I was about to say your
It's
show
been a
is
good
fun
day.
too.
Yeah, it's been a good day. 2 great shows.
And shout out to everybody that came in the chat. I appreciate
Shout
them
out.
being
Shout out to
adults.
Slim. If you're out there watching Slim, shout
Shout
out.
out, Sexy Slim.
Yeah, she'll be home in probably in another hour or so. We love Sexy Slim. We love you. All right, so this is it here. Oh God, I don't like this guy, guys.
To shed viral RNA for weeks, as determined by PCR, doesn't seem to be infectious virus. And the real question is, are they a threat for transmission? And I'm wondering if you think we could use a cutoff of viral loads determined by PCR to say this patient is no longer infectious, can go home, can go to a nursing facility, because right now the physicians are really having a hard time with that.
Right. Again, a good question. And what is now sort of evolving into a bit of a standard that if you get a cycle threshold of 35 or more, that the chances of it being replication competent are minuscule. So that if somebody, and we have patients, and it's very frustrating for the patients as well as for the physicians. Somebody comes in and they repeat their PCR and it's like 37 cycle threshold. But you almost never can culture virus from a 37 threshold cycle. So I think if somebody does come in with 37, 38, even 36, you got to say, it's just dead nucleotides, period.
Yeah, because as you know, we can't easily culture infectious virus. You don't have a BSL-3 lab everywhere.
Exactly.
So is the threshold cycle is reporting out a pretty standard practice in doing a diagnosis now rather than just positive or negative? Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, when you go in, when I get my test, it's negative. When someone comes in and it's positive, they don't give them the threshold until you go back and ask for it.
Okay, but they've got it.
They've got it.
All right.
They've got it.
My. He said when my test is in there, it's negative, but when your test is in there, it's positive.
Well, you're very welcome to
that kind of right there. Those
And
words.
what they do
People
is,
play, I
what they
play
do is
on
they want a
words.
lockdown. They want a lockdown. They raise it just so they can find something. Oh, you can come out of lockdown. Here, just lower it a little bit. See how that works? That's exactly what they do.
Well, guys, it's been a great show. I appreciate everyone coming out. Thank you for everyone's opinion.
No problem.
Be kind to each other. Be good. Go ahead, John. You first. 2 seconds. Say everything you
Shout
want
out
to say.
to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I want to apologize to Bella. Got off on the wrong foot, but after talking to you, you got potential. You got some knowledge. So you
Gentleman
said
right
you said some smart things. I do apologize for that. And just pay attention. Just know you're not going to get the truth out there in the media. Sometimes it's going to take you humbling yourself to listen to somebody that knows what they're talking about. It's not because I want to be better or I want to know more. It's because this affects me as much as it affects you. It affects the children, which is our future. If we don't write the shit right now, there's no tomorrow. We got to take care of today so we can take care of tomorrow. That's pretty much it. But thank you everybody for coming out. Thank you for the chat. Shout out to Jack for the wonderful knowledge. Shout out to Shadow for the wonderful knowledge. Thank you too, and Janet for just really triggering my brain, because I really got the wheels turning right now. I have to look up a lot more stuff now because I want to help solve this puzzle too. We're all in this together.
Right. We the people. Go
We the
ahead,
people.
love. It's your turn, Daddy. Take us home. Bring us into port. We're coming into port. Here we go. We're going to dock and everybody's going to get out. Have a good night. We love y'all. Go ahead, Sexy.
Well, thank you, Empress Janet, for letting us be on your platform to learn about stuff and speak about knowledge. Knowledge is key. Thank you, John, like always, for spitting your knowledge. And I'll be learning a lot of stuff from you, bro. I'm not scared to say that. Thank you, Jack, for coming up here earlier and spitting your knowledge. We definitely learned a lot from you. And we want to see you on future shows, if possible. And I want to send a big shout out to Sexy Slim. We love her very much. We have our back 100%. And villains, and we out.